We are here at the radio station trying to get the morning going.
Trying.
Trying.
Like,
JP,
how long do you let that go? Turn us up to the lines for the radio there. Well, good morning, everybody. It's not Shock Jock Saturday, but Hunter and I do the podcast Mondays and Wednesdays. This week, we've started up high school sports, and today we are doing Saturday morning sports talk. As Terry's getting more notes, that can't mean, I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, Hunter. So we're gonna talk about that in just a few minutes. We're gonna get up and running here on the internet, but a couple of things to get into this week: high school basketball scores. I'm going to pull those up in the other room. Let's start first real quick. This week, give you guys quick updates on KTC. Our Cherville Ironman game versus Highland Tech was canceled this week for health concerns. And Tom was Thursday night, was over at Kings Mountain for Burns and Kings Mountain. And Hunter last night was up at East Lincoln for the Rebels and the Mustangs. East Lincoln and hosting the West Lincoln Rebels. We'll start first, kind of real quick, guys, on kind of let you guys too. You two have been in the gym. Terry's been in the gym as well. How much different is the basketball atmosphere and play, and you know, with mask and like 50 people in the gym or whatever the rule is, and other things, and are you ready to get back to normal basketball?
Yeah, I would say it's not a night and day difference because some of the games, especially Tuesday games, weren't exactly packed out in recent years. And the cheerleaders, Kings Mountain has about 20 cheerleaders, it seems like, so they keep it loud in the gym when we were over there. But, yeah, it would be nice to get back to normal as everybody, you know, you got to stop the game in the middle of the quarter. I know that gets on your nerves too.
Mm-hmm.
They got that extra timeout, and you know, I know the masks are a hindrance to the kids, and it's a hindrance to the coaches too. Are trying to communicate with their kids on the floor, and then they got to sanitize between games and get everybody out. You can't stay for the girls and the boys game; it's separate fans, so it's an inconvenience, and I know it takes away from the game. And I just feel bad for some of these parents that aren't able to come and watch. Now, some of them are able to stream, but, you know, they're not able to come and watch. So, yeah, it's different. And it does take away from it, but I'm optimistic. I was hoping we'd get out of this thing before too much longer. We'll see. But, you know, I'd like to see it get back to normal. Because it takes away from the kids. Main thing, you know, it's taken away from the kids.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing a lot of times now is you miss the fans. That's the biggest thing. The cheering, the ratting even from your your school-bound squad that's there. They can go on and I guess when I sit there and I watch a game, it's easier to hear your coaches. I mean, you can hear everything to say, and if you have any little bad words to say, everybody in the whole gym can hear it. Because there's not enough people. And
background
then,
noise,
yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a lot different if you go watch one, and then you got segments with this group sitting over here, then the varsity is set over here, and
you got to switch them out.
I mean, it's a lot different. It is.
Yeah, it's pretty different. It's well, from a broadcast standpoint, you don't quite have to talk as loud.
That's true.
The gymnasium is not as loud. But to me, it's almost eerie. You're so used to being, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, not as much because you're outside and it doesn't echo as much. But especially with basketball, being inside and usually the acoustics of the gym, you can hear it in the background while you're talking through the microphones. But now you just don't, and the game will be going on, and you might hear one person scream like "Go Team," whatever their team name is, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And
I'll
be honest with you. I give credit to the guys that signed up and said that they're going to play with masks on because hell, I wouldn't. There'd be no way you'd be catching me playing a sport where I'm constantly moving and running with a mask covering my mouth.
Well, like soccer, you played soccer, Hunter.
Yeah.
We expect these guys to wear masks during a soccer game.
Yeah.
And they have allowed in North Carolina, they were going to make the soccer officials also wear a mask, which is a little cumbersome because you've got to have your whistle here and then you got to take them. So the sporting goods stores have taken advantage of that and are selling like a $30 mask and whistle type deal,
Well,
Terry.
imagine that. Imagine.
But the state of North Carolina, in their infinite wisdom, has allowed you to wear a face shield if you are a soccer referee. So I go with the face shield, and that way I don't have to buy the $30 whistle, and I'm able to get, the whistle. Now, if you're on,
You just got a brand new face shield for Christmas, Tom. That'll work out great for you guys.
that's not a
this
face
spring.
shield. That's a bandana. I'm talking about the plastic job that goes over your face. So
Surely, God, soccer being outside would be easier to breathe than basketball in a gym. And at any point,
I thought they might let the kids go without masks in the outside sports, but they're not.
No,
they're not doing that. They're
So when
making it-
football comes around, they have to wear masks underneath their helmets.
I would assume so.
I
I
don't
wouldn't
think they
play.
have to on football, do they? No, I don't know.
Well, why would they?
I guess when Coach
why would
Pruitt can, I think the helmet and the guard,
That's
I
not
think
going
can take away from that.
Nope.
I think so.
They're
I mean, I
surely-
might be wrong.
No, they're surely going to make the football wear masks. If they're making soccer wear masks,
Well, Coach
They're gonna
Pruitt
make
will call.
baseball wear
they're gonna-
masks.
I would
You'll
assume
tell.
so.
who knows?
Who knows?
I mean,
I'm just going to tell you, if I was playing, I'd have no part of it
So
because that.
Hunter, you would play. You would
Probably
still. No, you would
play
play.
club soccer, not have to
You
worry
would
about
play.
high
Yeah,
school
I mean,
soccer.
I can go play
You don't have to
travel
worry
ball and
about
not
high
have to
school
wear
soccer.
masks.
You wouldn't as a 20-something, but as a teenager, and this is your only chance to play
Well, now,
for your high school. You play.
You know,
transfer and go play something in a
I
state
am
that doesn't
gonna-
A lot
allow
of
it.
kids go to Oak Hill and things like that all the time,
Yeah.
Tom.
Hunter-
All the good ones would find somewhere to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Hunter
they
hit
really
on
wanted
something
to.
a minute ago that he said, and he is correct. If you play on weekends and you go play stuff like that,
You don't have to wear
you
'em.
don't have to have no mask.
No.
Baseball, softball does not have to have masks, but yet when you go into schools,
Right.
they're making you have them.
I told y'all this when it started.
Yeah.
The schools are government. There's lawyers involved. That'll be that's going to be your problems. The weekend stuff's going to be way more lenient.
Yeah.
And be able to do whatever you want along a lot of some of these things.
To me, it's an indoor-outdoor thing. If the
That
science
makes more sense, right?
If the science says that it's not nearly as communicable, plus you know these kids, they're pulling the mask down and pulling it up.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
put my hand on you, and then you're going
I
to
mean,
get it. So I mean,
if half of the people in the United States don't even wear it right. You just wear it right here, and you're not even covering your nose. So it's like,
Some of them wear it backwards. I mean,
I don't know. Just it's strange looking at them running around because if you didn't have names, of course, to associate with numbers, you wouldn't know who it was just wearing that mask.
Well, Tom, you want to mention our sponsor here in the
I
morning?
sure do. Friendship Chrysler Jeep Dodge bringing you this show this morning. They're at 190 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, 828-919-3001. Also, Friendship Nissan, 156 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, North Carolina, 828-245-1661. I actually talked a little bit about friendship in class. We were talking about the best vehicles for your dollar, and Jeep products were often mentioned. And we were studying economics, how consumers behave, Terry, and they don't usually behave like you. What they do is they try to, buy quality products at good prices.
I got a quality product
think-
at a
I
good
think-
price.
Unlike, and we were talking, and they did mention some of the Jeep products. So Jeep has got a good name.
How about Tanner's car? I think, if I'm correct, he paid about the same Terry did, and it already had 100,000 miles on it. And he don't got no free tires, and it's pretty much the exact same truck in about 10 years.
See, but
newer.
Terry's got to get him a. Terry's got like a little. He's got like a little girly
that-
truck. He's got a little girly truck. He needs a real
but
truck.
Tom, doesn't
Needs a
that
real
mean
one.
that he has enough money in a glass jar somewhere?
That's what he needs.
That he can go up there and buy him a brand new Jeep.
Terry, go
or-
get you
or
a real
Dodge.
truck, man. That little
You know
truck
what he
got-
needs? He needs
you
a-
need to give.
He needs a bright orange Dodge Charger.
He does.
That's what Terry needs.
Well, you need to get rid of that truck and get you a man's truck. That's like a little
Haul
teenage
some- haul
kid's
some
truck.
booty
You need to
around
get you a
here.
man's truck.
There you
Get
go,
you a real
Terry.
truck.
Put some hair on your chest.
Yeah, that's
Tom,
right.
have you seen gas prices starting to go back up now?
I have.
Oh, okay.
Don't get me started on that.
That's all I got to say.
Well, that is true. I just bought a Wrangler, and I'm like,
Yeah.
golly, I'm definitely only driving on weekends now. My work car is going to be even
I love
more.
it when I was able to take my Toyota truck to the gas pump and fill up for
What do you worry
about
about
14 bucks.
Terry, you don't go anywhere except
My
here in
weed eater
Westlake High
has a bigger
School.
gas tank and
You don't
Terry's
go anywhere.
truck.
Except, he goes to KTC in Westlake High
That's a
School. He's
small-
worried about
Shoot.
you.
What's funny
I
about
wish it
Terry
only
is that
took
on my way
$14.
home, when I can go 2 or 3 ways, and there's one way home where there's two little silver trucks just like Terry's out through the country, and I see them all the time. I don't know what errands they're running, but it's the same time I'm going through about every time one of them. Got some other high school news and notes. You know, while you guys have been, busy working hard at the basketball games, and I appreciate everything you guys have done and do. The schedules change as far as broadcast every day. It seems like, and I'm going to get into some of that with you guys in a little bit, but a couple of different news and notes across high school sports I wanted to get to is Hunter on Friday nights. I've been, excuse me, what am I drink there? Experimenting with a little, Facebook Live, and while I haven't been able to do the full force because we haven't had 3 games on at once yet. We had 2 last Friday, 1 Thursday, and then 1 this Friday. So it's been 1 game at a time. But folks, if you're watching online right now here on Facebook on Fridays, we're gonna start during the games doing a live basically scoreboard show, and I'm gonna do my best to get to score updates. In basketball is a lot harder. In football, everybody and their brothers tweeting out scores and doing like that. But it's some people, with the schools doing the streaming and stuff, maybe I can keep up with some of that a little bit better and whatever. But what we're going to do, folks, is we're going to have the Twitter up, Twitter feeds, and then you can listen to the games, and we're going to go back and forth, kind of like the Red Zone channel in football, and we're going to go back and forth between the 3 games in basketball, and you can listen to them and listen to updates, the post-game shows, get some stats and some other scores and stuff during basketball. We're going to now during basketball, folks. This is not a finished product. We're testing all kinds of fun things that we can do and how we can do things and interviews and other things like that maybe, and then hopefully in football during football. So let me give you how the football lineup's going to work. Is right now I guess we're going to say the same times and everything until we're told different. 5:30 to 7 on the radio will be the Witherspoon Insurance Agency pregame show once again here on KTC Broadcasting. We'll be previewing all the games of the week and maybe with some comments about last week's games, give you standings, schedules, and more. And then upcoming at 7 o'clock, we're going to send it out to the ball games and for their pregame show at the stadiums, and kickoffs, of course, at 7:30. Week 1, let's see. I'm the only one that's got that. I'll let Hunter read that real quick. Hunter, week 1 schedule across the board there on KTC. What do we got there scheduled for week 1?
Week 1 on OHS, we'll have Burns at South Point. On CSL, we will have Chase at Cherryville. On WLON, we will have West Lincoln at North Lincoln. And WAGY will have RS Central at East Rutherford.
East Rutherford. All right. So that's week 1 schedule. And so once we send it out there, though, however, folks in the studios, we're going to do a scoreboard show live, kind of red zone type thing for football as well. So we'll be in here giving live score updates during the games, switching back and forth the games. We'll have 4 games on the radio each Friday night to be able to switch back and forth to for you guys to listen to. So if you want to listen and watch the channel in our little studio watch party, so we're basically going to have a high school football studio watch party on Friday during the games, and of course we'll be checking in on things online and talking to people from the stadiums and everything, giving you guys updates and as many scores as we can as soon as we can. So we're going to be working hard for you again on Fridays. Then after the games, of course, we're going to have a post-game show. Guys, got an announcement. New sponsor. So over in Gastonia, our new sponsor will be Full Throttle Power Sports. Full Throttle is actually, I think, taking over McKinney Honda over there too as well. They bought them out, and then now they're expanding and getting bigger. And they're joining the KTC. They've been with us for a while as regular sponsors, and now they're joining us as the post game sponsor now for our post game show, which covers Cleveland, Lincoln, Rutherford, and Gaston County. Of course, we give scores from outside those areas as well, but we focus on those 4 counties. So Full Throttle Power Sports post game show. I wanted to announce that for you guys this morning. So excited about that. Now, other thing. Terry, I don't think anybody else switched, but I did say we had a switch in the conferences, right? Thomas Jefferson now was kicked out of that conference. I guess
With Rutherford County.
Rutherford County.
Yeah.
But they've been sent to the Cherryville Conference with Burns and Shelby. So now the conference is Cherryville, Bessemer City, Highland Tech, Thomas Jefferson in the 1A. And in the 2A, Burns, East Gaston, Hunter Huss, and Shelby. Now, I know they don't look at it by competition and everything, but looking at that alone, Shelby's 5-0, and Burns and Huss are all 5-0 without even stepping out, or 4-0 without stepping out the door. And in fact, could they not play their backups against Highland Tech or maybe Cherryville? I mean, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm saying we've did the numbers on this plenty of times. And Cherryville and Bessemer City with 30, 40 players, and then Shelby with 50, 60 players. We've wondered if Shelby should be playing in the 3A based on those numbers. And now they're going to be playing Highland Tech and Cherryville and Bessemer City. I played against Shelby in high school, and, we went in the game. It was survival. And then hopefully we could be healthy enough to play Bessemer City the next week. So I don't know how that's going to work out football-wise. Basketball, baseball-wise, have no problems with it. Those sports are even. I think all those teams will. Bessemer and Cherryville might win the conference in basketball.
But this isn't final, Kevin. I thought this was the second revision.
Well, they're
This
not going
is
to.
the second revision.
They're
right?
not going to. I don't think they're going to redo a whole conference. The conferences are done now. It was only going to be like one. When they made the first one, they said that there was only going to be like one or two schools. This is pretty much it, unless there's like one or two protests.
Yeah, but there's going to be I tell you who there's going to be a protest from. It's going to be the Shelby crowd and some of those who don't want to do that. They don't want that conference, and they're going to have a say so, Kevin. I do think it's unlikely. I think you're right, but I've talked to some of the Shelby folks, my brother-in-law included, who's coached over there, and says, look, we don't. Why are they sending them across the county away from three people in your county who are similar sized schools to go all the way to Mount Holly?
Yeah.
To play a ball game, Terry. I mean, if I'm the Thomas Jefferson crowd, even though everybody knows my feelings on charter schools, but I'd be saying, hey, look, why am I driving 50 miles? It probably is 50 miles from Thomas Jefferson to all the way over there, 40 anyway, right, Terry?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good hour and 20 minutes, maybe.
On a bus?
Maybe, yeah.
On a bus. So why are we doing that? Oh, I never underestimate the stupidity of the High School Athletic Association on some stuff like this, but it just makes no sense.
If you are East Gaston, your closest opponent is Highland Tech, which is still, for them, that's a 20, 25-minute ride. I know East Gaston's got, they're not near anything exactly, but all their rides are going to be like that, but that's their closest one is Highland Tech. Cherryville's 35 minutes from East Gaston, I think, if I remember correctly on that drive.
The Rutherford County schools, I tell you, they do not want to play Thomas Jefferson because they're worried about their athletes getting recruited. I know that for a fact.
And that's kind of understandable in the conference-wise like that. It's just, our proposal, of course, was football numbers and I think that should be something they lean towards, and they'll never do it. They've come up with some type of 7-step mathematical formula where, and then I think South Point and Huss people are arguing about who should be what, like, and what where they should be. I just looking at the map and stuff that this area is you can either start here and build out. Or if you build out and then end up here, if you end up here is what it looks like they did, you end up with a bad mix like that. You can start here and go out and then find in the spots. But I just don't know. I think Cherryville should be in there with the 2As of Cherryville. I think they should be in there with the West Lincoln, East Lincoln 2A conference there, Bandy's Bunker Hill, whatever. If they're going to put them in the 2A, but that would, I don't know. It's kind of like North Lincoln, Terry. When they were in the 3A 4A split, they were really kind of a high 2A, but then you put them in the split conference, and then a good split conference, not just a regular 4A. It was a good one, and they were getting hammered, right?
They sure was, and I don't understand where we're trying to come from because I sit here, and you think of Shelby, and you think of them having to play Highland Tech.
Top lines the conference.
Even if you was West Lincoln. West Lincoln knows, hey, that's not good for us because they are that much better than us. But now all of a sudden you got them playing a Highland Tech. You know what?
Shelby's JV will beat them.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not being disrespectful.
No,
they will.
no, it's not.
They just don't have
It's-
bodies and athletes, and it's not going to be fair.
And participation. Do you think I'm going to be on a team that's going to have to go play Shelby? No, that's all right. I believe I'll play
Listen,
basketball.
If you love, I was gonna say, if you love playing football, I get it. But after a while, you start looking at it and saying, "Well, all we're doing is losing." Like,
Yeah,
is
but
it,
I
is
mean,
it
when-
really worth me going out here
and
just
when
to
I'm
lose?
having to go play Shelby and they got 50 guys and I'm bringing maybe 25, 26 max to play you.
And listen, you know
I've
they
been
talk
there.
about
It's-
it. They
it's-
talk about really if your mind's not right, you've lost the game before you get on the bus. And I think that's really how some of these schools are, though. When they see, okay, we're going to play Shelby today, or we're going to play, when Hunter Huss has been good in the past few years. If it's a team that struggles, that game is lost by the time they get on the bus.
All right,
it's,
Terry.
it's just a mental thing for those kids because the coach can try and talk them up all they want, but those kids have been in the area for so long they know what the name is.
True, false, Terry. Schools have, or coaches have, football teams have, in the past. If you're going to Shelby this week and you got a game you can win the next week, you might rest your good players.
They're going to. Why would you not?
We did it. I know that. I'm not saying they did that. I know players that I played with sit there with a sprained ankle that practiced all week and then just didn't.
If
hardly
I
play
am
on
a
Fridays,
coach,
and I'm out there getting my butt whooped, getting sacrificed, and again, like I said last week, so somebody can sell some hot dogs.
well, these things like this is
I mean-
what I think take away from how good, I'm going to quote, quarterback, running back, wide receiver can be. Because they cannot set school records if I'm going to play Highland Tech.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to play half the game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to take away from anything I can do or be in the future of this school and my name listed when it comes up 10 years from now and me and Tom sitting in here, this guy was one of the best. And then all of a sudden you got somebody over here who don't know that much about football and they go, my Lord, you talking about him? He's number 20.
Yeah.
But he didn't play half the games.
Well,
So,
There's lies, there's big lies, and there's statistics sometimes. So.
also, but you could talk about people worried about stats. I'm not naming schools. I'm just going to name or I'm going to talk about maybe a something that happened. Let's say one school, how these conferences switch, Terry. Let's say let's say 20 years ago there were 3A, okay. And this isn't even true, but let's say the school was 3A 20 years ago and a running back got 1,950 yards. Okay. Let's say that school now is a 1A school and a running back gets 2,100 yards. Who's the all-time rusher? The kid who got 2,100 yards on
I guess
charter schools, or the kid who got 1,900 yards on the 3A schools? Who wins that barbershop argument?
I'd say the
'Cause if
kid
we're
that
all-
faced a tougher competition.
well,
wins
that's
that.
what we're going to say. But if you do not know, I'm taking this kid because how can you say that?
He's
Because
got
he's
2,000
200
yards. He didn't
more.
get 2,000 yards. He only
Yeah.
got 1,900,
Yeah.
and that's against Mooresville or Mallard Creek or something like that. And the other one that was against Highland
But now,
Tech.
it's a whole difference if I'm playing a charter school that's Charlotte Catholic or
Terry,
somebody.
how many
I mean, it's a
yards-
whole
they
big
need
difference.
they need to come up with, I would say, which they won't, but like Kevin says, a competition type committee
For football.
How can we have the best competition for football?
No, they need it.
Yeah,
How many
they need,
times?
you
How many
know.
times have we seen scores when we used to have the whole
Well-
board filled up, and it was like you'd come in here and say, "Well, I thought that was going to be at least close," and it was 70-3.
To me,
Let me ask
they're
this.
going to be better competition over here with West Lincoln and that group than they will be in their conference, in
Right,
Shelby's conference.
Well, let me ask this: what if this is a crazy thought? I know people are gonna lose their mind. What if because you know how you split them up into the playoffs once you get there anyway, 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, right? And it doesn't matter whatever. What if, and they use max prep ranking anyway,
Ooh,
or I don't know exactly
Never
what they're
mind
doing
about
anyway.
that, but anyway.
But what if for football, if you didn't even do conferences, you just made your schedule, and then whatever your record is, that's how you get in the playoffs, and then they can do their max prex rankings.
Yeah,
however they want.
you could do that, but then
You're
it's
still gonna be playing
the
mostly
whole
the same
it's the whole
teams
thing of
because
why
that's who
why
your
we question
local
why
teams are.
you would have then why we question why Saban's playing Western Carolina. You would be like, well, why is Shelby got Highland Tech scheduled here twice?
They wouldn't play him.
Right. Shelby wouldn't even play them. So
wouldn't
like
play
if they had their choice,
That's not the way
if you could
Shelby
make
thinks.
if you could make your own, I mean, they make their own schedules anyway.
Well, even
Like,
if
who would
that's
be
not how
different?
Shelby thinks, that's how one coach is going to think.
Right.
Oh, I
He's
know.
going to say, look, if it doesn't matter who we play, because, see, that's what we did in my senior year for soccer. That's how we got. I was on the first team that was ranked in the top 15 for our school. But what we did, Coach Simmons looked at it and said, to get in the playoffs, they are really favoring your strength of schedule. And so he scheduled us playing at Lake Norman Charter, who had just won the 1A championship the year before, Hickory, who had just won it the year before in 3A, and a semifinalist in St. Stephen's 3 weeks in a row. Because he said we can play them close, but they're gonna like looking at that strength of schedule. And then the next year it changed to where they didn't care about strength of schedule anymore. And he said, well, if we're just trying to make the playoffs, my non-conference will be nothing but cupcakes. He said, because if you're just looking at wins, then it doesn't matter who I play. And so if that's the case, and to Tom's credit, you're right, if there isn't a competition committee to look and at least say, well, we want competitive games and we want you to actually play somebody, maybe Shelby doesn't think that way, and that's great. But yeah, somebody else is going to think that way.
We're talking about football because it's a physical.
And they're going to call charter schools left and right and say, you want to play us? You want to play us?
It's a physical
1A,
contact
play us?
Maybe
sport.
they won't play though. They're going to try to play each other, Hunter. They're not going to play the big boys.
To me, it's a safety issue as much as it is a competitive issue. If you're arguing about competitiveness, the powers that be are going to be like, shut up, we don't care. But to me, it's a safety thing more than anything.
Well, I think
I've
the
been out there.
competitiveness
It's
can be.
safety.
I think the competitiveness can save the safety thing because, like the point you were getting ready to make is, in a 70-3 ball game, really, where's the safety for the team that's getting creamed right now? They're just getting absolutely steamrolled.
That's why they run the clock, though. That's what they'll say.
I wish they'd have ran that clock last night. I'm gonna be honest, but
Never got to
that's
40.
beside the point.
I think
Hunter's pulling for 30.
I think just to go to that, just because you mentioned it, I think
going for
basketball
30.
does need to go to 30 points. Let's go ahead and run that baby. But it's like Terry said, it's
Game
like
over at 50.
Yeah,
But that's my role.
Or like Terry says, well, if you do that, then Johnny doesn't have opportunity to get 25 points. You know, and I saw when I saw the kid from Kings Mountain had 37 points, Isaiah Tate. So you figure a kid like an Isaiah Tate who's still in there in a 20-point ball game, you know, if you get to
That's
30,
what we're doing
run
it
the
for,
clock.
Tom.
Yeah.
But but the players that are out there, like the subs, we're supposed to be doing it for winning and the love of the school. The administration's there for the hot dogs and the ticket sales, and the star is there for the fourth quarter so he can run up the score and the stats.
He really does hate hot dogs, doesn't he, Terry?
I'm just saying.
all the time.
Just saying.
Every week.
If that's the decision we're making,
we hear
that's
about
what
hot dogs.
That's what every decision is made for in
Hey,
America.
if they ever open up the ballparks again, I'm taking Kevin. First thing I'm gonna do is get two
Buy him a hot
giant
dog.
I don't want
Exactly
them.
right.
I don't want that. All right, so what I'm talking about, and we've talked about before, is I want to do the schools by football roster size. And people are like, well, they'll fake it. You have to turn those in, and you can use the ones from the year before. It's not this hard. If they can do a 7 computer model to figure out, we can say, hey, I've got 50 people on my team. So here's what I mean by that, folks. For listen to South Point 60, Crest 58, Shelby 56, Kings Mountain 54, Burns 49. Those are the top roster sizes in the area. Are those not basically the top 5 teams in the area every year?
They are.
All right. Next is Stuart Kramer at 49. They've been siphoning off South Point's people. North Lincoln at 48. They're getting really good. Mountain Island Charter has 48 football players on their team. Now, compared to Mountain Island Charter, as far as how that goes, Bessemer City has 25. Highland Tech has 28. So now Bessemer City with 25 players has to play Shelby with 56. That's double the team. That's 2 teams.
And Shelby's got guys going one way.
Right.
Or Bessemer City's not going to have guys going one way.
Well, do the math, Terry. They've got 22 people going one way on each side of the ball. They have over 40 people. Okay? So they've got they've got 30 people on each side of the ball because they almost got 60 people. And they've got more people on each side of the ball that the whole school has total football players. So I have to learn 2 sides of the ball, and I probably have to punt and kick off too, which I did. So there's players that do that at these schools. So that's not even totally close to fair as far as roster size. But you go school size, and people will say, well, let's do that instead. But, well, I got a great example for you. Ashbrook. Ashbrook has 475 students. In our area, Ashbrook has the most students in our area by far. They got more than Charlotte Catholic, St. Stephen's. They got 100 more students, 150 more students than Kings Mountain. Crest is third, North Gaston fourth, Forest View fifth. So Ashbrook has the most students. Ashbrook had 26 football players last year.
Yeah.
26 people
I don't know what happened
on the
what
roster.
happened to them.
What I want is football. I want to measure not girls, not everybody in the school. I want to measure football team roster size. It's that simple. It's just that is. We can look at this every year. When Lincoln was, I'm sure when they was winning state championships, they had more than 40 football players on the roster.
They did.
Terryville has 39 last year based on my roster, and these are just the max preps rosters. They could be a little bit different. But what I'm saying is that Ashbrook, with 1,275 students, has twice as many as Bessemer City at 622 and the same number of football players. But according to the state, it's not a fair game. But according to the football players, it is a fair game, and they would rather Bessemer City at 657 play Shelby at 827. So Shelby, 827 people in their school, Tom, and they've got 56 football players. What's the percentage of that are football players in the school?
Well, off the top of my head, that's about 7 or 8%.
And then I'm doing
So
what's
that's
26 divided by 1,275?
Yeah, 26 is going to be less than 2%. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's
so Shelby's almost got 10% of their school is
Yeah.
a football player compared to these other schools, and that's what you're talking. That's what I mean. So wouldn't it be better if the conference was just this? I'm just going to go straight down the line and not even name 2A, 3A, whatever. 8 teams at a time. How about this? South Point, Crest, Shelby, Kings Mountain, Burns, Kramer, North Lincoln, Mountain Island Charter. That's your top 8 schools. Then the next one's Huss, Chase, West Lincoln, East Lincoln, Forest View, East Rutherford, Thomas Jefferson, and Lincoln. Is anything wrong with that conference? Then the next one would be Cherryville, RS Central, North Gaston, East Gaston, Highland Tech, Ashbrook, and Bessemer City. Now, Terry, without even doing anything other than counting football players, I just made the 3 fairest conferences we've ever had about. Did we not? I'm going to read that again. Oh, this is just football players only, 8 at a time. South Point, Crest, Shelby, Kings Mountain, Burns, Kramer, North Lincoln, Mountain Island Charter all have 48 and above football players.
it'd be a tough conference.
Yeah, it would.
The next 8, Huss, Chase, West Lincoln, East Lincoln, Forest View, East Rutherford, Thomas Jefferson, and Lincoln. Is anybody going to dominate or that conference? I mean, that's going to be a competitive conference. And then the next one, finally, Cherryville, RS Central, North Gaston, East Gaston, Highland Tech, Ashbrook, and Bessemer City. You like that, Terry?
It would work for me.
All right, guys, that's some of our news and notes on high school sports this week. We're going to talk a little basketball in just a few minutes and get going. We may have a call or two. We may not. And then we're going to get NFL here in just a little bit. We've got championship weekend. We've got bad picks. Tom, Andre went on a rant this week. I'm just saying, you may be the star of his rant. You may be the focus of his ire. We'll be back in just a minute on ktcbroadcasting.com.
When is being different a good thing? Well, at Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram in Forest City, our customers say we're different. Look at our Google reviews. They say we're different too. We have the region's only non-commissioned sales force. We use no haggle, clear choice pricing, and we have the only lifetime warranty with no time or mileage limits. When our customers leave, they say, "That was a great experience." And that's where we're most different. That's Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram, and we're located in Forest City.
Don't miss the Golf Shop Radio Show this Wednesday from 11 to 12, presented by GolfKnickers.com, the leader in traditional golf apparel. Mark Greenheld and Matt Blanchard go from tee to green and everything in between. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
Wednesday mornings at 11 o'clock on Carolina Country, WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, and online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
Take advantage of a special offer on the versatile Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor. Switching attachments is simple, and a smooth hydrostatic transmission makes for easy operation. The Kubota BX Series, the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. for over 10 years. You own the land. Now, make it yours. Get the Kubota BX 2380 for payments as low as $99 a month.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive, off Highway 74 at Oak Grove Road, Kings Mountain.
You could be our 2021 Valentine's sweetheart. All you have to do is register to win at one of our local participating merchants. Grand prize this year will be 3 days and 2 nights at any Red Roof Inn in America. A dozen red roses, Valentine candy, dinner for two autographed novels by J.D. Kaiser, and a $500 in-store shopping spree at one of our participating merchants. Register today at Iconic Motors on West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, at McGinnis Furniture downtown Cherryville, at Alray Tower on West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, Family Auto on Highway 74 East in Shelby, Norris Merchandise on Highway 18 south of Shelby, at Fins and Critters on East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, at Honda Motorcycles Highway 74 East in Shelby, at Bruner's Automotive on East Main Street in Lincoln, at Kurt's Premium Outlet on East Ridge Mall in Gastonia, and at This and That Trading Post on Highway 321 in Dallas. The drawing will be held Friday, February 12th. See each store for details. Sponsored by The Boss, Carolina Country, Downtown Radio, What'sUpShopper.com, and KTCBroadcasting.com. The Cherryville Country Club remains open for dinner on Friday nights and for Sunday lunch. Call your order in at 704-435-6597. Take it home and enjoy a great dinner or lunch. You can pick it up under the big black awning at the front. And it's time to get out and play golf, too. The weekly Captain's Choice Golf Tournament starts every Friday night at 5:30 p.m. Just call the Pro Shop to sign up at 704-435-6597. The Cherryville Country Club on the Roy Acre Road in Cherryville.
Hello, Gaston County residents. Nowhere is the saying, knowledge is power, more evident than when it's time to buy or sell your home. For over 25 years, Moss Realty has served the communities of Gaston County. They know the quality of life on this side of the river, and they offer their personal knowledge of the community. And knowledge is power. Voted Best of Gaston 3 years running. Visit them at mossrealty.com or by phone at 704-865-5555. Moss Realty, your hometown specialist.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk, and they are behind schedule.
Hey, what's up, JP? You in there?
I'm in here.
We're just talking about basketball. Was you talking about basketball in there?
No.
No. All right, NBA action, Tom. The Cavs are going to the finals.
I tell you what, the Cavs,
Right?
Sexton,
They look pretty good.
Sexton's looking good. I always question why they, they drafted backcourt back when I'm like, what are they doing? But it shows why I'm not an NBA GM, because Sexton is really a phenomenal talent.
Mm-hmm.
And then, they got a couple other guys contributing, and Larry Nance Jr. is contributing. They're trying to get some of their guys back. They're just now starting to get healthy. If they get Love back, that'll be their Gordon Hayward, their leader.
That's my question to you. Kevin Love is sitting on a bench. He's getting up, stomping around, got guys jumping on his back. Tom, what's wrong with him?
I don't think anything's wrong with him. I think he just wants to get traded. But I forgot Drummond, and that's an interesting situation because they just traded with the Nets. I can't keep up basketball because players move around too much. Hunter's the best at that. He can tell you where everybody's been.
Barely. I'm telling you, player
Hunter,
movement in the NBA,
Hunter,
and it
they move
happens
around.
overnight.
I was watching the Philadelphia game. Sorry, Terry, your Celtics got beat last night on national television.
Yeah, well, it's okay.
But it's like, oh gosh, there's Dwight Howard playing for Philadelphia. He was in Charlotte.
Yeah.
He was at the Lakers. Now he's at Philly. You can't keep up with these guys. But they traded in that Nets trade. They got another young center from the Nets. I can't remember his name off.
Jared Allen.
Allen. So what are you going to do with Drummond? He's on the last year of his contract, but he's playing well.
Yeah,
So,
he's a
it's-
double-double every night.
Yes. So what do you do? I read something last night. I said, well, it's a youth movement, so they're going to move off Love and maybe Drummond. Drummond's not that old though. I think he's late 20s, isn't he? He's not been somewhere around there. But
He's not old,
but he's playing. But he's playing well. I think.
Did you know that you traded a player too? The Cavs
the
made
second round pick. They got a second round pick for the guy.
Yeah.
The
Porter
first round
Jr.
pick last year. They had to throw off the team because he threw a temper tantrum.
Yeah.
So they traded him to the Rockets. So they got him out of town for a second round pick, Hunter. I mean, what are you going to do with a second round pick? I mean, that's
Right.
kind of hit or miss. But that was basically give us something for our first round draft choice. You can't do that too much or you'll be the Charlotte Hornets. You got to hit on your first round draft choices. But I like the direction they're going to. They beat the Nets twice, Hunter. They beat the Nets twice.
Well, they beat them pretty substantial in this.
But they
last
beat them
game.
the second time without Durant. because the double overtime game, they probably played their guys too much was what they said that they may have aggravated that Achilles because Kevin Durant said his all-time, Rick, I think he played 51 minutes. Durant played 51 minutes, and then Irvin played somewhere around 49, 50 minutes. He's just coming back off his other whatever.
Do you think they're good?
The Cavs?
No,
or the Nets?
The Nets.
They've got look at their triplets. Okay,
they gave up 115 points in every game for
Irving,
5 straight games.
They got
now?
Durant and they got Harden.
Yeah, but they just got to outscore you.
Well, I mean,
they can go.
I think that once they learn to mesh together a little bit better.
Yeah,
Jerry, I'll be honest.
Wait a minute now. Tell me all of them, who's going to play defense?
Kevin Durant.
Durant plays defense.
That's it.
Irvin plays defense. He plays.
He tries.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a difference between trying and actually doing it.
Well, he's there to score.
That's why I don't try. But that's pickup.
But
I mean, Harden's not going to play defense. He never has.
He doesn't. Now, but the Cavs are 8-7. 8-7.
Believe,
What you would have thought?
Do you believe in Sexland? Do you believe in Sexland?
I think
Colin Sexton and Darius Garland.
I think they could kind of threw me off that, but I think that
Don't ask another man.
I'm just saying.
Wasn't real sure what to say live on here, but I think that as long as Sexton stays healthy, he stayed pretty healthy, and Garland's coming back, and Okoro's. I mean, they have drafted well, Terry. And that's what you have to do.
Well,
and when
I
you
would
pick,
hope
you pick up
would.
you draft well. You screw up the draft. What is that?
JP, we can hear you in there.
JP.
Between breaks, sir.
How about not doing that? Okay?
He's just applauding you, Tom.
No, he's not.
He's giving you a rim shot.
No, he's not. But if this I'm okay, I gather myself. That if you get the drafts right, then you can. What is he doing?
He's playing the drums.
Why?
Yeah.
Is there somebody here from adult daycare that can handle the situation?
Tom.
Okay.
Well, Tom, I would hope you guys hit your draft pick because, my God, you guys have been in the top 4 and 5 picks at least for the last since LeBron's left.
But you still
the
have to,
second time,
Hunter,
so.
you have to get it right.
No, I know.
You have to
I
get
know.
it right.
I'm just saying.
Just because you have the pick, just because you have the pick.
I'm just
doesn't mean
saying,
you're gonna get it
Dan,
right.
I don't know what Dan Gilbert did, but I swear he had to pay somebody, maybe the NBA, he slides him a couple million every other year underneath the table because you were in the top 5 to 6 picks consistently almost for 4 years straight.
Yeah,
and I was like, I don't know what's happening here. For God's sakes, at the one time where you had Anthony Bennett and Andrew Wiggins just a few year back-to-back after drafting Kyrie Irving a few years earlier, I was like, I don't know what this guy is doing to get them in that quality pick. But eventually, you got to start hitting on them, and it happens. You know, if you got a good scouting department, it's going to work. I'm happy to see that Cleveland is doing good without LeBron. I think that's the one thing that Cleveland is going to struggle to do is get out of LeBron's shadow. It's always going to be like when he left the first time. Oh, well, without LeBron, look at him now. Look at this. They'll never be able to get back without LeBron.
I tell you, I remember when Colin Sexton was trying to talk LeBron into staying because he left the year that Sexton got graduated, and he was like, come on, we do this together. I'm like, who is this kid? You know what I mean? Like, I know he's good, but who is this kid? But I tell you, this kid shows me who he is now.
Yeah,
I mean, he's
not
average.
scared.
I want to say he's averaging in
him
the
playing
mid-20s.
against Kyrie Irving was nothing.
No.
He took it to Kyrie just like
he scored 20 straight points in overtime on Kyrie.
Yeah. He's really good. He's really good.
He is good. I'm glad to see that he hit. I didn't really know how he was going to play out because his rookie season, he really didn't look that great.
See, that's Terry. That's the reason I always, when I say one of these draft guys, I want to put them in a room one-on-one and let them play, because the guys like Sexton, he's the one that's going to show out, and you're going to see him. He can get buckets, and I want the guys that can get buckets and aren't afraid. Like, he obviously isn't afraid. Basketball, you got to have confidence. As soon as you don't have confidence on the court, you're going to just be standing out
That's
there
what
not
hurt
doing
Markelle
anything.
Fultz so long for 76ers. I mean, you would
You
see
gotta
him
get
when he
the ball
would
and
you would
shoot.
see him when he would shoot the ball and a free throw. It was broken, and he would just airball it, and that's why they eventually moved him out. And he gained his confidence, but of course he tore his ACL, and he's out for the season now. But the confidence thing is huge. I think that's why Ben Simmons now is actually starting to pull up jump shots just a little bit. He's got a little bit more confidence in his shot. So confidence is huge, but you got those guys coming in where confidence is at all-time high. Even if they go on a 0 for 5 streak, they're just going to pull it from wherever.
So we talked a little Wednesday Well, I'll get to something. I wanted to talk with your Brooklyn Nets questions a second ago, talking about Kyrie, and I just don't see how it fits. Right now, what they're talking is Harden's going to be the point guard, and what they mean is D'Antoni's the assistant coach, and Harden ran the point guard basically when he was there. And what that was Steve Nash's version of the Phoenix Suns. Well, guess who the head coach is? It's Steve Nash. So Harden's going to run this offense, and he had 11 assists last night. But what I did notice, and I have noticed in their losses here, is Kyrie's taking almost double the shots James Harden is right now. And that, to me, you don't want it, you don't need it. And again, I say it again all the time. It's a shame that Kevin Durant has played with these ball hogs, but it seems like he don't care. He just wants to play basketball because when he gets it, he's shooting like 48% from three, 7 foot tall, 48 from three. Oh, come on, man!
Crazy.
What do you do with that? And you can't guard it. You can't deal with it.
And that huge trade package for James Harden, I would have thrown Kyrie Irving in there. That's just me.
I just stood straight up and say, "Here, y'all."
That's just me because that was during during the time when he was on his about 7 to 8 game hiatus. I mean, he was just not there. He was just not playing.
But they think keeping him is going to get them a championship. I don't think they can make the championship.
I will say this.
They've got to have time to play together, though. I'll say that.
They will have
time to play together.
They will have moments where they blow people out. They will.
Yeah.
But they will have moments as well where you look at them and say they struggled tonight.
The problem is beating them 4 out of 7 times, Terry.
Yeah, I agree with that. But if I'm going to play,
as well. But how do you beat Kevin Durant? You got to beat Kevin Durant four times.
Okay, I would look at
and
it
then,
like this.
Then you got to look at the rest of the guys.
You can look at it like this.
The last 5 games, they give up at least 115 points. How many of them did they win? 1?
If I score 120, though, it's still a win.
Yeah, but I don't think they won but one of these.
You're right.
Lost to the Cavaliers. They lost last night. I know that's 3 losses.
It's funny the numbers y'all just brought up. Here's what they're averaging: 120 on offense, 16 on defense. So that's their average. 120 to 116.
What was the league before the NBA that merged?
The ABA?
Yeah, that's the kind of games they used to have, right? You used to have like these 150-point games.
You know how like NFL the average has been 24, and NBA it's been 108. In the last few years, it's crept up to 110. It's right about 110 still. The big scoring teams, you know, here's your averages if you're curious. And this was going to break a minute ago. The Wizards are the worst defense in the NBA, or second worst defense in the NBA, but they're the best offense. They're scoring 120 a game, and they've only won 3 games. The number 1 offense in the NBA has only won 3 games this year.
So it's not offense that's going to win this thing.
So 120 is what the Wizards.
I think the best defensive team in the league is the Lakers. They got the highest, at least, defensive proficiency.
I'll let you know in just a second here, sir.
But to go back to Kevin's point on when he said
Knicks are the best defense in the NBA.
Oh, that's right. I did see that. It was a tweet. Tom Thibodeau got them playing defense. Who would have saw? Yeah, well,
their offense is 101.
Yeah, doesn't cut it. Doesn't cut it in a team that's scoring 120.
Right.
But to go back to Kevin's point,
8-9.
he said, you know, you got to beat them 4 out of the 7 games. And it's tough because I could sit here and make a hard argument that Kevin Durant can win them a game, Kyrie can win them a game, and James Harden can win them a game. There's 3 already. So you got to beat them the other 4 and pray to God that Kevin, Kyrie, and James don't win that 4th game. That's tough.
Terry,
that's super tough.
Is this like, I'm trying to think of a way to get a good comparison. It's almost like 3 brothers playing, and Kevin, the oldest, is obviously the best. And if they go to the park or wherever, they're going to beat most teams they play almost every time. But every now and then, these 2 other dodos that dribble the ball 1,000 times are going to act stupid or not run the right offensive play or do something weird. And it's just weird. Like, he's got weird. The whole team is weirdos. And Durant is almost like he's a 7-foot almost Klay Thompson where he can just catch and shoot from anywhere, but he doesn't even play like he can go by you. He can just do anything.
Do you want to know what I think Kevin Durant's going to have a problem with? I don't think Kevin Durant, and I don't know him, of course, so this is just speculation, what we've seen throughout his days in Oklahoma City and with how he acted at Golden State. I don't think he's got alpha in him. I don't think he's got that guy. He's not that guy that'll get in your face if you're not doing your part. Like Kyrie being gone for 7 to 8 games. And now coming back 2 games. Nobody in that whole office, it sounds like, said anything.
Yeah.
Now, they might not be putting it public, but I'm just saying, if it's not, maybe James isn't really playing up to his standard or Kyrie's not playing up to his standard. I don't think Kevin Durant's the type of guy as a superstar and a Hall of Fame talent that he is going to get in their face and say, I need you to step up. Kind of like, I know Draymond might have been out of bounds, but he at least t's in people's faces and is at least trying to tell them, hey, I need you to do your part.
And gets thrown out of a game.
When he wasn't even talking to the guy.
That's beside the point.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't know.
I don't even want to hear that.
Because
Tom.
think about it. Kevin
You
Durant.
know you're a jerk when you
get
get
thrown
thrown
out.
out for talking to your teammates.
And the reason why I
We
think
don't
that
even want that out here.
I just think that about Kevin is because, he didn't do that with Westbrook when they were in Oklahoma City. They still just let Westbrook be Westbrook. When he was with Golden State, I know it worked, but he still took a back seat to Steph, Clay. If he's that guy, then
You know what I think it is with him, real quick? I'm not sure if it's not the alpha. I think it is, because as soon as the basketball game starts, he's on it. I get what you're saying.
Well,
maybe off
that's
the
more of
court.
just, to me, I think that's just raw talent. I
Right.
think that's just,
But
God-given talent.
He goes to Rucker Park, wherever he goes, and these guys show up. He just dominates. Nowhere where he goes, he dominates.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody knows this. I think Kevin Durant wants to be loved. And he doesn't get any love from anyone, anywhere. And people love and fawn over LeBron. And if you're Kevin Durant, you look at it and you're like, I'm 2-1 against him in the finals. I've got 2 MVP on his head in the finals. Every time we play, he can't guard me. I'm the one that can guard him. And then you could turn on the TV and it's LeBron. And then think about the guys he's with. They're all those he plays with, and he's not selfish with the basketball. But looking at this, Hunter, 31 points a game right now. Okay. 7 rebounds, 6 assists. That's just his basic numbers. Let's look at his field goal. 53 from the field, right? If he just shot 2%, 2-pointers, that would be good 7 to win ball games. He's dropped down. His 3-point percentage dropped down last game. He's now 47% from 3 on the season. 7 foot, 47%, averaging 31 a game. Kyrie's averaging 29. Harden's averaging 26. Those two will probably come down some. I think Kevin's going to keep shooting. I'm trying to find shots per game is what I was looking for.
I think Kevin Durant could hold on for an MVP. As long as his Achilles doesn't act up. I think he could do it.
Durant's taking 2 less shots a game than Kyrie and outscoring him by 2. So it's just, he may be the best scorer we've ever seen, just scoring the basketball, getting buckets, and he's playing with these ball hogs who are hard to guard defensively. I think they need a shooter and a shot blocker. And I don't know how they're going to get them. Because
I think DeAndre Jordan can at least do good enough.
That's going to be the tough thing.
Well,
they're going to get their 110, 120.
Yeah, they're going to get it. They're going to give up the same amount.
They might.
I mean, there's the problem. I don't care who you are. You're going to give up the same amount that you're scoring.
Is this, or if not, besides because what Steph does, let's take that away. Is just as far as like guarding them, like, hey, I gotta have bodies to guard these guys. Is this maybe the hardest team to guard 1-on-1? If not, in maybe an NBA
there'll be
history?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you what. If there's a defensive-minded coach out there, like if Tom Thibodeau plays them, he's looking at his guys and saying, "There's no way we man. There is no way we go man because you can't stay in front of James, you can't stay in front of Kyrie, and nobody on this court can stop Kevin Durant 1-on-1. There's no way."
I might be wrong, but if it's me picking, and I know people are going to say 3 best guys are this squad, I still think when Durant was at Golden State with Curry and Thompson.
I just said not count them.
Yeah, well, that was the better squad.
Right. I agree.
I
agree on
Play
that.
style wise.
Pure shooting shot shooters.
Right. What I'm
those
saying
3
on that,
could outshoot what's at the nets.
With the Golden State, you can scheme to try to stop outside shooting, but it spread. What I said you can't count them is because they spread the floor so much. It's not regular basketball. But with these guys, what I meant by Terry, as far as like we're going into this game and I got 12 people over here on the bot, I almost need to use my whole roster just to throw bodies at these guys, just to stay in front of them. Because you got to sell out on each one of them just to stop that one guy on defense. It's just, and they get, but Terry's right. Are they going to play defense?
I know they got the dribble brothers and Kyrie and James, but let me tell you something. That's the most dangerous dribblers in basketball right now. They might take 10 to 15 seconds of that shot clock dribbling. But my God, most of the time they score off of that. And that's what I meant by
I hate
if
playing with
there's
those guys.
if there's any,
hate
I don't
it.
like watching.
I don't know what it likes
like
watching it either. It's just like it's almost backyard basketball at some
And he
point.
goes to the free throw. They call a foul if they breathe.
I'm
near
just
him
saying,
and
if
he
there's
shoots
any
free
coach that
throws,
goes into this
Lord.
game and says, "I think we got a great shot playing man," I'm like, "You're stupid." I'm sorry.
Terry, you ref basketball time. You watch a lot. You ref other sports. Do you think they need to have like a sit down about redoing or resetting some of these calls, as far as especially the offense, the shooting foul calls, where the players are jumping into the players like the Hardens? You see
Well,
the
it happened last night.
you
It
see the
happened
Trey
last
Young
night.
one where he stuck his butt backwards.
Yeah.
He jumped up,
Mhm.
and the guy behind was clearly behind him, and he stuck his butt backwards into him, and they called the foul on the guy's belly, I guess.
There was
for butting him.
there was a call on the Hornets game. It went against Biombo, where there's a guy for I'm terrible with names. There's a guy for Chicago. He led him. He had like 25.
Zach LaVine.
Yeah, Levine. That's right. He came in, Hunter,
Mm-hmm.
and did this, and Biombo maybe got to the spot late, but boom, you're talking
Put his
elbow
elbow
to
out.
and they reviewed it and still said it was a foul on Biombo. And then the next time, Biombo basically gets sumo wrestled to the ground and didn't call it. So it's just the inconsistency, I guess, what I'm trying to say.
Are you saying they would have called that on LeBron?
It's inconsistent. And before you make your point, Terry, let me say this: if the contact does not alter the shot, let it go.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would say.
Yeah, well, it happened last night. This was in the middle. Embiid got the ball. This went straight up. Embiid jumps into him, hits the shot. They call the foul on this because Embiid jumped into him, and they called the foul.
I've never agreed with them calling it on the offensive player. If the offensive player initiates the contact, because what's the defender supposed to do?
He did.
He's there.
He turned around. He said, "What do you want me to do?"
He's there doing
There's
his
nothing else I can
job.
do.
The offensive player was the one that said, "I'm going to initiate contact and turn it." Basically, the offensive player is dictating whether or not it's going to be a foul.
And it makes for a boring game because everybody's shooting free throws. Who wants to watch that? I don't want to watch that.
That's like when James Harden for that stretch was going to the free throw line almost like 13 times a game.
It's boring.
It's like, take those points away. How much are you really scoring?
Yeah. Here you are again with what's happened to Philadelphia and Boston. Philadelphia beat them the last 2 times. Last year they did the same thing. But when it gets to the playoffs,
start letting it go.
The whole thing's called different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's like Philadelphia in both games, I think, outshot them free throws by lots. And now when you get to the playoffs, Boston's going to be better than Philadelphia because some of them calls that you were getting in the regular season are not going to come to
It goes back to consistency.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it goes back to and traveling, just forget it.
They showed
Embiid, and I said, look at his footwork. He changed his pivot,
that's what
laid
I'm
it in.
saying.
I was
Yeah.
like, footwork, it's called a walk when I
And
was
plus,
growing
when
up.
Embiid's so much bigger, he's way bigger than Thompson. He's way bigger than this, and he can get the ball in it, and I can just muscle you all the way to the goal.
But what else irritates me is then they stop the game to review it. And then you
Oh,
got to
and
sit
that
there for
takes
2
for
more
3
minutes.
minutes. It
So
stops the game.
I've
heard. I think it's Stan. Which one is it that's on television? Which one's coaching? Is it Stan or Jeff Van Gundy that's coaching right now the Pelicans?
It's Stan. It's
Stan.
coaching
Stan.
Van.
Okay, Stan.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
so
other
it's
guys.
Jeff Van Gundy. He's the one that's always on there, and
yeah.
I've heard him complain multiple times about how that really review has almost ruined basketball. Like it's good to review some things, but some of the stuff that they do review, it just totally
College basketball's
kills.
the same way.
It totally kills the flow of the basketball
It's
game.
just not meant for that. Now, football, it's a little more appropriate because the play ends.
I just
and
need to
then
give coaches 2 a game
basketball,
instead
it's
of doing
not.
automatic reviews.
Yeah,
Just be like, you get 2, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like
I
that.
mean, you know,
like a coach's flag.
I don't
human
know.
error.
We're not throwing flags on the basketball court.
Human error is part of the game.
But Terry,
And,
you're talking about the traveling real quick. People that are just casual fans don't think it's an issue at all. They just want them to go up there and dunk and do whatever. But as a coach, referee, player, what it does as far as changing the game wise is it really puts the players who aren't, I'll say, great into situations where it's tough for them. So let's say I'm guarding somebody, and it's about footwork. So Hunter, it's crazy. Up at intramurals at Appalachian, one of the teams that gave us the hardest time was the soccer team, because you guys had good footwork. In fact, you guys cheated. You'd kick the ball, and the referees couldn't tell. I don't know how many balls got kicked in the game. I'm like, they're kicking the balls. But anyway, footwork y'all did actually fantastic staying in front of us trying to get to the basket. We ended up just shooting out of the gym and threes and stuff, but you did really good keeping us getting to the basket.
Well, if you're talking about just lateral movement,
Right.
that's something that we're great at.
So
you work on that.
now
practicing
take
everything.
take that into account, and then the guy that you're guarding is allowed to travel.
An extra step, and maybe an extra
Because
step and a half.
you're doing, you're counting in your head 1, 2. He took 2 dribbles or an extra step. He has to either go one way or another. I'm gonna cut that off. So when I go to cut it off, and the ref allows him a 3rd or 7th step or dribble, now I can't play defense because I don't know what I can do to stay in front of him. Then if he dips his shoulder into me like LeBron and I'm in front of him, and you still call the foul on me. So what in God's name am I supposed to do to guard somebody right now in the NBA? You just can't because
it makes it boring.
Really, you can't guard them. And I
But
think
that-
that's
but
part of the problem with the 120.
But that's why we look at these scores and they're 120, 125.
Right,
It's like
exactly.
NBA don't care.
So Terry, when you're
Points.
guarding somebody and they take 2 dribbles and you think, well, or 2 steps, you're like, well, now I jump, and then they get a Euro step after that. I'm jumping this way. And
Why do you think all you ever
laying it
see is in a rules book? It's always something they add for a defensive foul. This is counting NFL and
Right.
NBA. You know why? Because they know fans really want to see scoring. This is the same reason why the highest rated Monday Night Football game is still the Rams versus Chiefs game about 2 years ago. It was 50-something to 40-something. I mean, points. That's why defense is almost it's almost not existent
But now-
anymore. And you look at it and you're like how Kevin talks about it in the draft. It's like, do I want to draft this guy that they say can't really score but plays great defense, or I want this guy that scores? It's like you want the guy that scores because as of right now, if both teams still give up 120, if I get 121 and they score 120, I still win. It don't matter.
Yeah, but
That's
there's the
how it is.
reason. There's the reason I don't like the All-Star game. Who cares?
Or the Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
Same
I
thing.
mean,
Yeah,
you can run, you can walk, you can skip, you can do whatever, and it's all going to count because we're going to try to score 180.
But I don't even think
I
they should
know.
play that game. You can just go ahead and do your little voting and just say, all right, you were voted an all-star.
Honestly, I would rather. That's why I'd rather them do this because we let them. We gamble and we talk about gambling and all stuff. Anyway, put a bucket of money on the court for the All-Star games. Say winner gets the bucket, loser don't. See how quick that stuff changes. Winner gets the bucket, and if James Harden's on the winning team, he's taking his team to the strip club with that bucket of money.
Well, now they have done
taking
something
himself.
different on the All-Star game. What is it? The point spread now, you got to get to certain amount of points.
And I think it's like the
you know,
fourth.
It's an international rule.
Yeah, you know,
So
I mean,
I
you know,
like
so
that,
that changed. Yeah, that helped, but you don't play until the fourth quarter anyway.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let me talk a couple of things real quick, standings, and give you the stats. We'll get out of here and get back in it almost fits about football time. Sixers are in first in the East. Pacers in second. Hunter, you got did you have that written down for?
I didn't,
With
but
no
I will
Oladipo
say this.
now?
No Oladipo. I liked the pickup, though, that they did with Karis LeVert. But it's come out now that he's got a mass, I think, build up on his kidney. It's either his kidney or his liver. It's one of the two. The only reason they found that was because they had to do the, what is it, the physical. You know, when you get traded, you got to be able to pass the physical, make sure that they're not trading an
Does that
indie
not
player.
cancel the trade?
Now, see, I don't know, but Karis LeVert he's really crediting and saying
cancel the
this
trade, I
trade
thought.
might have just saved my life because I had no idea that I had this mass here. So a little bit of good comes out from this. But if it is able to still go through, I think Indiana's got I'm not going to say a superstar or a star, but they've got a really good player coming in Karis LeVert. He dropped 40 and 50 a couple times last year. Just Kyrie, when he's there, is going to take more shots than you. So I think Indiana will be fine, and Sabonis is still there. So they've got a good squad. I think eventually it'll tip down with
It's
no
a lot of
Oladipo.
parity, though. If you're looking at the East standings,
Yeah.
I mean, Philadelphia's on top at 11-5, I think. But there's a lot
I
of
was doing
parity below there. You got the Celtics are there, the Cavs are there, the
The
Pacers are
Bucks.
there, the Bucks are there. So I think it's going to be fun in the East. And I don't know though if you look at the Nets are going to be there. I mean, there's going to be a lot there. But
Mhm.
who do you like? Do you like the in the West? Do you like the
Well,
Lakers
there's three
again?
teams up at the top of the West.
Like
Hold
the
on, guys.
Clippers,
I was doing the
Yeah.
standings, but
I'm sorry, Kevin.
Bucks are third. Well, tied second. Yeah, and you're right, Tom. From second is 9-6. The Hornets are next to last or next to last in the East at 6-9.
It's sad that Hayward is playing so well for the Hornets.
3
too.
games.
He's really playing well.
Bucks are third. They've got the best plus minus in the East. Let me make sure not in the whole not in the league, but the best plus minus in the East at 8.8. The next best in the East is 4, and that's the Sixers. Cleveland's 5th right now, and got the 5 seed. You'd be playing the Celtics in round 1, guys.
Oh,
Knives out,
fun.
round 1. Hawks are 6th right now. Nets are 7th, and Knicks 8th. Bulls 9, Magic 10, Heat 11, Raptors 12, and Charlotte Hornets 13. Good job, guys.
They lost 3 straight. That's hurt 'em.
And they have wins against the Nets, and who else they beat that was good? The Mavericks. But that
4
was without
straight now.
Porzingis too, right?
Didn't that make it 4 last night?
Tatum hasn't played for the Celtics, so that you got to put an asterisk by that victory last night. No Tatum. When's he coming back, Terry? You see?
Hopefully next game. You know how it goes right now.
Yeah.
I need a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the West, Clippers and Lakers are both 12-4. Jazz 11-4. Suns, Trailblazers 8-6. Memphis 7-6. Mavericks at 8-7. And the 7 seed, and the Nuggets are tied with them at 8. Golden State's on the outside looking in at 9. Spurs 10. Thunder 11. Kings 12. Pelicans 13. Rockets 14. And Timberwolves 15. You look at the Pelicans' starting lineup roster, Hunter, you'd think that they're tough to deal with and tough to play with, and they're 5-9.
Well,
Gotta play
Stan has got his work cut out for him.
play well
coaching
together.
them up. They do have
Oh,
to
you gotta
play well together. I think NBA in the East, to give you, Tom, credit, is going to be very interesting. I do think the East will be interesting. The West, I still think it's both LA teams, but in the East, we know the Nets will be there. The Bucks could choke again. We don't know about that. Miami could catch, not to be just to play on words, they could catch fire again. The Heat could really get going. So I think the East has got a whole lot more parity. And I think with player movement, obviously James Harden now in the East and Kevin in the East and all these players being able to move wherever they wish to please, even Russell Westbrook being in the East, I think the East is slowly catching up to the West. I think the West still has strong teams, but the East isn't quite the least that it used to be.
Yeah, I think they've got a good competitive league, and I think whoever wins, it's not going to be a blowout once we get to the NBA Finals. I think it's going to be a fun, competitive NBA Finals.
I'm looking forward to Lakers and Nets.
Yeah, it will be.
Well, they trashed the Nets the whole period, the whole show, and now they got the Nets in the final.
I just don't think you're beating
They
Kevin
only
Durant in
kind of
7
they
games.
keep looking at them saying offense wins. No, not in the NBA.
Well, let's.
Surprise team, Cleveland makes it back to the finals without LeBron James. That's my bold
I
prediction.
mean, if you're going to tell me that, look at these. Okay, you're going to tell me Ben Simmons and Embiid is going to beat Durant, and
No.
I don't care whoever's on his team.
Embiid's good, man. Y'all have
Embiid
consistently
is good.
kicked Embiid. He is good
No,
when
he's
healthy.
good.
When
Tom,
healthy, he's
Are you
good.
picking Patrick Ewing to beat Michael Jordan in round 1?
God almighty.
That's what the question
God
is.
almighty. It's
This
two
is
different
Kevin-
players
this is-
from 30 years ago.
This is Kevin Durant. This isn't like he might get beat.
I'm
He's
just-
not getting beat
I'm
by
just
Joel
telling you,
Embiid.
don't sleep on 76ers. They looked pretty good last night. Simmons
Nobody
looked pretty
was-
good last night.
nobody
Embiid
on the
looked pretty
Pacers
good
is-
last
Simmons.
night. Dwight Howard was playing pretty good when I saw him in spots
Simmons
last
played
night.
the fourth quarter.
What's that?
Simmons played the fourth quarter. That's the
you
only
guys-
period he played. He didn't do nothing the
Why
rest
do
of the
y'all-
game.
Ever since Ben Simmons sassed him, he hates the 76ers, just like Borrego
I like Joel Embiid.
sassed him, and he hates the Hornets.
I don't
now.
hate the Hornets. I think their head coach is dumb.
I like that.
I think
like
he needs
Joel
to
Embiid.
use less hair gel. I think that would help him out a
It
little
might
bit.
help his brain.
Yeah,
Didn't
might
hurt Pat
help.
Riley one bit.
But I'm just saying that I don't understand why this
right.
show is the Philadelphia 76 Haters Club. I just don't get it.
Tom,
Haterade.
by me saying you're going to get beat by Kevin Durant is not a hate. It's just you're not.
He
it's
might
like,
not be.
Hey,
That Achilles might
guess
not
what?
be
Clyde
right.
Drexler's a heck of a player, but you're going to get beat with Michael Jordan.
If
Charles Barkley's a
Boston-
heck of a player. You're getting beat by Michael Jordan.
I have said here every year said
It's Kevin
Boston
Durant.
needs a middleman, and it's not Thompson. It's not
Tice.
this. I mean, you know
How
what
do you
I'm
say
saying?
his? I thought it was Tice. Is his
You know.
name Tice? He's
But
awful. I can't
Yes.
stand watching him play. He's
But
terrible.
you got to have somebody. Embiid's going to bully whoever Boston has.
Tice can't move his feet.
But now
either.
the bottom line is if you have to go against the Bucks, it's a whole different story because Embiid cannot keep up.
All right,
He's
and
too slow.
I'm glad you brought the Bucks up. So Giannis is the only person that can guard probably Durant. And I'm not saying he's going to shut him down. He might hold him 25 a game instead of 30. Okay. Now, with that said, are the rest of the Bucks beating Kyrie and James Harden? So that's the
Middleton's pretty
question you
good.
have to get to.
Middleton, he's not
Listen,
consistent.
One game, it might happen.
Yeah, he's not
You got to beat
consistent.
them 4. You got to beat them 4. Cavs, y'all beating Kevin Durant and them 4 out of 7. You're 2-0
Oh, yeah,
against
we're
them.
beating them.
Y'all gonna sweep them. Cavs will sweep them. That's easy.
Drummond's going
Hawks,
to shut down Durant. They're just
Hornets,
gonna-
no. It's just not happening across.
I see what you're saying, but
matchup wise, it's really hard to beat them 4.
What you're forgetting? Kevin Durant's ankle, it might not hold up.
The Nets are not that good, y'all.
They're good.
Look
but
at
I'm just
their
saying,
record.
Durant might not. That Achilles might not.
Look at
hold
their
up.
record.
Terry, we're talking about in a 72-game basketball season, the first 11 games.
The
I'll be
Finals
honest,
MVP
I
ain't
haven't
played but like
watched
3
hardly
games.
but 3. So, I mean, nobody really
They're not
cares
gonna
about these
win.
first 20 games.
They're not going to win a best of 7 games scoring
Talk to me
125
about their
points.
record after the All-Star break.
You know.
Talk to me about their record
What, they
after the
one
All-Star
game above
break.
500?
When they're sitting probably first
now?
or
Yeah.
second in the East.
There you go.
Talk to me about that after the All-Star break.
You know.
They're like
They're not
two
second
games
in
out
the
of first.
East.
They're like 2 games out of
Plus-
first.
plus
so.
we
You know what I'm
forget, you know,
saying? They're way on down there. They're not
You
second
trust,
in
you
the
trust
East.
Nash as a first-year coach?
Nash ain't running this team.
It's not hard to coach Kevin Durant. Now,
Tom, I hate to
No,
tell you.
I'm going to be
Dan
like
Tony-
this. No, you
Yeah.
said a good thing. I'm going
Yeah.
to tell you the truth. If
Yeah.
it's LeBron's telling him what to do. They ain't nobody on that team, Irvin, Durant, or
Yeah.
Harden, going to be telling Nash what to do.
let me ask you something.
That's-
What's funny about
That's
It's
a whole
interesting to
different
see how that
player.
will work, won't it?
They
Yeah,
got-
that's a whole
Interesting to see how
different
that will
player.
Nash is not running this team.
here's what's funny about
Not right now.
Dan Tony is he's
That's
got a
who's-
relationship.
That's who's running.
He's
the
got a
team.
relationship with Harden. Nash is learning, but everybody and they
Yeah, you got to learn your first
people
year.
when they hired Nash, and a lot of people got mad about it, saying he didn't have any coaching experience. And yeah, okay,
You got to start somewhere.
I understand that, but again,
Very true.
they over the years in basketball, they've made exceptions for the NBA greats. Larry Bird, Magic Johnson didn't have to be assistant coaches. Steve Nash is the first time back-to-back MVP. He won 2 MVPs. How many? Kyrie comes in there acting big and bad. How many MVPs you got, Kyrie? How many MVPs you got, Harden? How many you got, Durant? I got as many as all of you added together.
I mean, but it's interesting dynamic.
Run
you know?
the
It's
screen.
interesting. Yeah.
That's how it's gonna talk, isn't it?
Yeah.
Set the screen. I got 2 MVPs.
I'm dead set. Now, Steve Nash, this first year, is a face. D'Antoni is pulling the strings.
I think Kyrie's the downfall of that team if it is.
But now
Because-
listen
because
to me.
He thinks he's better than Steve Nash. He thinks he's better than James.
Well, Kyrie
Harden.
was the one that said we
He
don't
thinks
need a
he's better-
coach.
Right.
All
he
four
thinks
of
he's better than
us
all of them.
could step on the Nets and be winners.
Right. You're right. Head
No,
coach.
I don't know about
That's
that.
what happened to the Lakers. Who's the coach for the Lakers? He is out there. LeBron run the show. You had Anthony Davis.
Now,
Hey,
Vogel was
look-
winning with the Pacers.
Steve Kerr is a fantastic coach when Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are healthy.
True. They only won like 11 games.
Him
the
and
year they
Draymond together won about
weren't.
less than the Hornets.
How much
All
Draymond
right,
still
we need
on
to take
that
a break,
team?
JP. You in there? You in there?
got to have a leader, Tom.
Thumbs up, JP. Oh, your camera froze. Too bad. We'll be back in a
Throwing my
minute.
headset
KTC
down.
broadcast.
On that number.
You know, we always tell our kids that there's no such thing as a money tree. But did you know at Friendship Nissan in Forest City, we kind of do have a money tree? Our money tree gives a $500 better price on any new Nissan, and that's a $500 guarantee that we put in writing. We have no haggle clear choice pricing, the region's only non-commissioned sales force, and we have the only lifetime warranty with no time or mileage limits. So you see, at Friendship Nissan, we kind of do have a money tree, and we're located in Forest City.
Looking for a new car? Maybe a pre-owned car or truck, or maybe an SUV? Then let your fingers do the walking and go to whatsupshopper.com. Local dealers with local vehicles. You don't have to drive all over the country. Just click on whatsupshopper.com and take a look at the local selection of cars, trucks, SUVs, and more from local dealers in Gaston, Cleveland, and Lincoln counties. Car shopping just got easier by going to whatsupshopper.com. Pick yours out today.
Join us every Sunday at 11 a.m. for our Sunday morning worship services on WCSL 1590 AM and 92.3 FM. It's the Sunday morning service of First Baptist Church in Cherryville. On WLON 1050 AM and 107.5 FM, it's the Sunday service of the Covenant Bible Church in Lincoln. And on WOHS 1390 AM and 101.5 FM, it's the Sunday service of the Calvary Baptist Church of Shelby. Join us each and every Sunday morning for our Sunday morning worship services on The Boss and Carolina Country.
If you're in the market for new flooring, go to this area's most recommended flooring store. That's Flooring America on Slater Street in Kings Mountain. Flooring America in Kings Mountain is where friends send friends for their flooring needs. And right now, you'll find the ever-popular luxury vinyl plank for only $2.99 a square foot. That's right, only $2.99 a square foot, all during the Fresh Start Flooring Sale. Give your home a refresh with one stop at Flooring America, 602 Slater Street in Kings Mountain, online at flooringamericakingsmountain.com. Check out the $1 section at the Falston Pharmacy and Medical Center Pharmacy in Cherryville. There are many brand new items at the Falston Pharmacy location. And don't forget, at both locations, you can use their convenient drive-through window. You can even get your over-the-counter items through the drive-through. And they have vitamins including C and D and zinc to help fight off the virus. And remember, the grill is open at the Medical Center Pharmacy in Cherryville. Get your flu shots too at the Falston Pharmacy, Highway 18 North in Falston, and Medical Center Pharmacy, East Academy Street in Cherryville.
Thanks for help bringing the economy back, one local purchase at a time.
Kind of uplifts you and you feel better.
It's the greatest comeback of all time.
Shop local with whatsupshopper.com, Carolina Country, and The Boss.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the guys. I think they're talking football now.
We're talking all kinds of things, JP. What are you talking about?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
You know what time it is for, don't you?
Bad picks.
Bad picks.
I'm really glad when football season's over.
Hunter said he's going to take a 4-minute break.
Gosh.
It's about 4 minutes long. It's only 4 games last week, so the bad picks are only about 2 minutes, but we got about a minute and a half of Andre just letting Tom have it. So, folks that listen on the radio, we play a segment of each week during football season called Bad Picks, and it's our picks from last week that are bad, and we make them every week, and we do a good job of filling that segment. So don't make your bets on us. We're about 50-50 on our picks, but it is live video on Facebook every Saturday, Monday, and Wednesday, and you can watch this segment and watch our reactions as well. So if you're watching online, you get to see it. If you're listening, this isn't live. You hear me, Tom, and Hunter. You'll hear the music. The music means it's a bad pick segment. So we're going to go to bad picks for just a few moments. You guys enjoy it, and we'll be back in just a moment. Talk football. All right, hold on.
Check. Green Bay Packers win 32-18 over the Los Angeles Rams. Buffalo Bills win 17-3 over the Baltimore Ravens. Kansas City Chiefs win 22-17 over the Cleveland.
My season ended last week, Terry, which was terrible.
Yeah.
But they put up more of a fight than I thought they would. Mahomes going out, that's unfortunate. I think that, you hurt Mahomes, you hurt the game. So, I mean, you definitely want him playing in that game. I'm glad he's playing. What?
Huh?
You hurt Mahomes, you hurt the game. You do.
Next man up mentality.
You hurt.
Come
on now.
That's the reason I didn't rag you too much. Last week,
Next man up mentality.
Yeah, I mean they played pretty well. I disagree. The call at the goal line where the guy obviously got speared. That's a no call. That's just bang bang. That just didn't go our way. We're upset about that. Is what it is. But with about 4 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter, the punt. I don't think you could have punted there. A lot of people don't really realize the interior defense of the Browns is not the best, and they could have run, and then they lose track of the quarterback on 3rd and long, but Lamar Jackson killed him. Now, Handy's not Lamar Jackson, but Andy Reid probably told him. I say, look, there's probably going to be a lane to run, get what you can get if nobody's open, and he got 15 yards on 3rd and 16, so. I mean, there was some other things besides that penalty that hurt him, but I would have never punted that football. You might say, well, if you punt it, they go punch one in, the game's over. Game was over when they punted. The game was over when they punted the football.
So, right, and here's coaches that we talked on our show this week that I've been saying for years, if NFL had a 15-year-old Madden player sitting in the booth, just let him play Madden the whole day, and then with 3 minutes left to go in the game, turn his mic up and say, hey, Jeffrey or Timmy, what do we do here? Because that's the number one important thing in coaching in football, it seems like, is holding your timeouts, using them right, using that clock at the end to come back. Because if you win by 40, who cares? Yeah. But what you're talking about there, so let's break it down real quick. Let's say 4 minutes left in the game. It's 4th and 8 or 9 from your 30-yard line.
It was something like 4th and 7, 6 or 7. It wasn't really too long.
And when they were about the 30, right?
Yeah, and I listened to, I'll let you hear this. I was listening to some of the guys that talk about the Browns said, well, the bag of tricks was empty, so they didn't really have a play for that situation, blah, blah, blah. Look, it's the playoffs.
7-yard hitch.
It's the playoffs.
Slant.
There's all kinds of playoffs. Well, why? I mean, I know you're covering for the coach. And Stefanski's coach of the year, and I think he's done a great job. But I think he got to
what's your percentage?
All right.
I
Let me break it
guarantee
down.
your percentage is 30% or less.
Well, that's fine, but let me break it down. Why you would still do it though?
To make it.
I know.
Doesn't matter. They had one time. Go ahead, Kevin. I'm sorry.
We'll break this down scientifically if you guys will hold on just for a second. One, Stefanski shouldn't be coach of the year if you're not there and you're up. You beat the Steelers 20. You're up 28-0 on without you. You're not there. Okay. And you when you come back, you get beat and make bad coaching decisions.
Did he just say that? Did he just say that?
You just said he made bad coaching decisions because he
won.
I
said
he was,
right.
What are you talking about?
When he was there,
whoa.
when he wasn't there, they won, and when he was there,
we act like the Jets game didn't happen.
Right, I was about to say
the coaching. He's supposed to be basically a play caller as well, and they threw 50 times with no wide receivers. Then why did you throw the ball 50 times?
Because they loaded the box.
Bad coaching.
Oh my
God.
Well, I will say one thing. Coaching has been a lot of losses this year. McCarthy's did his job in Dallas.
I said it
the
this
same
week.
way.
So,
losing games.
Stefanski lost that game. I said it this week. Stefanski lost that game.
So let me break down the final 4 minutes, which Tom was getting to, and then got offended that we said Stefanski lost it. But hold on. With 4 minutes to go in the game, you're right. You don't punt that. Here's why. You only had one timeout.
Correct.
Okay? And the 2-minute warning. So what's your strategy if you punt? It's to get a 3 and out, right? You can't let them get a first down. It'll be over with. So your strategy anyway is to get a 3 and out. So let's say you punt with 4 minutes. You get a 3 and out. You got one timeout in there. They waste about a minute and a half. So now at the best, you get the ball right at the 2-minute warning in the exact same spot you just were. So that would be the strategy in punting. To kick it away, let them have it for 2 minutes, then kick it back to me where I'm at now. And then now I got first down with 2 minutes and no timeouts instead of maybe a first down, a 2-minute warning, 3 minutes, and a timeout. So that's what you're going with, right? Because that would be your strategy. So let's say you go for it and don't get it. Well, your strategy is still 3 and out.
And make
so
no matter
what happened, punt or go for it, your strategy was 3 and out on defense. Now, if they do get 3 and out, and if you do go for it, they still get a field goal, which is fine because you're only down 8. You still get a chance again now with 2 minutes left to go in the game, with a timeout, and down 8 instead of 5. Either way, you had to score a touchdown, so that doesn't change anything. So nothing changed anything in that scenario other than we're just going to give you the ball and let you run the clock out. Because we got to get a 3 and out no matter what.
Yeah,
and I agree with you.
Especially now, you might say that 3 and out strategy if you've got a really great interior run stopping defense, which they didn't. Or but
it's still giving away 2 minutes.
It's
still giving away 2 minutes though. If you still say either way, you're going to have to get a 3 and out if you don't get that first down.
Kevin Stefanski lost you that football game.
Well, I'm not saying that because he had one bad game doesn't mean you take the coach.
You could take. Yeah, I could have made just as good of a argument for why Brian Flores should have been coach of the year than Kevin Stefanski. It's just preference.
That
would have been tough. I'm just saying though,
Stefanski,
and I'm not saying he lost you the game as in he's going to be a bad coach for you guys.
No,
he lost you the game just because of inexperience. And basically, Andy Reid did outcoach him. But this is where I definitely put it.
How is Ron Rivera not coach of the year?
Well, that too. I'm just saying. I'm just laying this really at the feet of Stefanski. Baker, outside of his pick early, played good. But Stefanski should have recognized earlier Kansas City could not handle Kareem Hunt or Nick Chubb running the ball.
They didn't run the ball. They abandoned the run game too quick.
Well, not just that, but they did. It was non-existent in the first half. They only had 5 carries for Nick Chubb, 1 for Baker, and no touches for Kareem Hunt. And at the end of the game, both of them were averaging, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, over 5 yards a carry.
Terry, what's insane about it to me is this would be like if Irvin went out and Dallas decided, you know what, they're going to stack the box on Emmett. Let's attack with Alvin Harper. And that's what Cleveland's do. That's what a lot of coaches do. They're like, we're just going to do what the defense gives to us. Well, at some point, you got to shove it. At some point, you got to shove it down their throats and be like, you're going to eat Emmett. You're going to eat Chubb. You're going to eat Kareem until you can't eat them no more because I'm not relying on Rod Higgins to win this ball game. That's what's aggravating with the calls to me is we'll throw 54 times to Higgins and the tight ends, and Nick Chubb sitting over here just 6 yards a carry, 6 yards a carry. Like just give it to him.
But you had to give it to Andy Reid because he went with why they're there. His last call,
he went Pedro Borbon on them.
Yeah, he went with what they do. He didn't hesitate.
Cojones.
And I'm gonna just tell you, and it's good to have a 13-year veteran who's a pretty good quarterback to be your backup. That's nice. That's a nice look because you know he's gonna execute in that situation.
Who was the backup?
Andy.
Oh yeah.
He executed. Now it wasn't a difficult throw. And you got one of the best guys in football in Hill.
Hill can get away from anybody.
Right.
So again, with
all he's got to do is catch
with Henny in the game, Reid throws it. With Mahomes in the game, he runs the option and gets his head blown off.
It didn't make sense. I wouldn't.
So he makes some good calls, but
that's how Patrick. Listen,
if Mahomes is my guy, he ain't never running that play.
Andy Reid did not.
$45 million.
Andy Reid. I know they won the Super Bowl last year, but that must have clouded over the fact that Mahomes missed about 4 weeks because he told Mahomes to have a quarterback keeper and he messed his ankle up. Yeah. So when you're paying a guy that kind of money, I don't think you really want your quarterback getting blown up.
All right, let's see if bad picks works this time.
Bad picks.
I'm going to go the Rams and y'all dodos with that.
No, Kevin, bad pick.
That's fine.
He's always got to slide in the slight.
All right, Tanner.
Dodos, dummies.
Tanner, who you got? Packers or Rams?
I'm going to go Rams.
Tanner goes Rams. JP, Packers or Rams?
Bad Rams start,
Those picks are in honor of Carson Dockery.
JP goes Rams.
I don't know who Carson Dockery is.
Went and voted with the boss.
All right.
JP, did you really just say that?
What'd he say?
I don't know who Carson Dockery is.
Okay.
You
don't know the guy he's sitting beside his, Hunter.
Carson used to be in here.
Green Bay Packers win 32-18 over the Los Angeles Rams.
Bad picks.
Ravens or Bills?
Ravens.
Tanner, Ravens or Bills?
Ravens.
I know everybody in Buffalo wants the Bills to win because they need them to get back and go 0-5 in Super Bowls, but that's not going to happen. Ravens, Lamar Jackson, and them win today.
Buffalo Bills win 17-3 over the Baltimore Ravens.
Bad picks.
And Tanner, Browns or Chiefs?
Browns.
For Cleveland to upset this and make the big win this week. I didn't think I told you last week I'd have picked them against anybody if they had damn coaches.
I think Kansas City's ripe to get knocked off. Picking the Browns, Terry.
Okay.
Oh, God.
So that's what y'all said last week, and I was right.
Kansas City Chiefs win 22-17 over the Cleveland Browns.
Bad picks.
We'll start with Terry this one. Terry, Buccaneers and Saints. Saints favored by 3.
Saints win at home.
New Orleans for Terry. Do they cover the 3?
Yes.
Because Tom Brady has impressed me so much, but not enough for me to pick him this week. I'm picking Drew Brees. I'm picking the other old guy because this time, Drew Brees and the Saints, Sean Payton, get this done for me. I am tired of being on bad picks because of Tom freaking Brady, who I hate.
I've been picking this team to win the Super Bowl.
I want the Saints to win
for 4 years.
I want them to win,
and nobody has bad juju making picks like you do. And I am just devastated that you picked against Tom again. I was hoping you went with him this week because I got to go Saints too.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers win 30-20 over the New Orleans Saints. Tom. It's hard to learn lessons in life. I guess it's even harder if you don't get an ass whooping with them. But that's terrible. You're gonna keep going against Brady. That's all I gotta say. Terry, I heard yours too. You should know better. Bad picks. Talking about Drew Brees beating Tom Brady. Tom Brady? Come on, man. That should be on Shaq and the Fool. Not only did we defeat the man, made him retire. No said. Let me take. Wish I could take the mic off so I could just try. Come on, fellas. Okay, thank you for watching. I'm done. Tom, I hope this make it there too. You've picked against him every week. Yes. And I would never take you to Vegas with me. I already read them. I got messages for Tom Sanfani because he is on my list. We got to put you as the bad pick.
Those are some bad picks.
All right, Tom,
just
you
got railed.
I will say this. I was so angry about the Browns game and that letting Chad Henne run for 14 yards on third down. That I didn't watch the Saints game. I listened to it. I listened to the Saints game while I cleaned out my garage. That's what I did at 9 o'clock at night. That's what I do when I'm angry. When I'm angry, I just go do something so I don't destroy myself or others. So, and I thought about, my pick, there's man, I got to stop picking against Tom Brady. I might not do it this week. We'll see. But I was listening to those interceptions, when Tampa Bay was getting the interception. Then I went back and watched the highlights of what I heard. It was painful to watch those highlights. I mean, it's just painful. I mean, to watch, Brees not be able to make those throws that he's been able to make. And, you just tell he's just banged up. Father time has caught up with him a little bit. But,
Tom Brady's older than him.
Well,
Tom Brady didn't break 8 ribs this year about 4 weeks ago, too.
Yeah. So
I don't even want to hear it.
But here's the thing. I want
I
to see what you guys think. I got Andre fired up at me a little bit this week. I told him that the words were any other quarterback in the NFL could have won that game for the Bucs this week because he only threw for $190 and 2 touchdowns. The difference in the game was the other quarterback threw 3 picks.
Yeah.
And because if you'll think about it, it was 23-20 when the last pick was thrown, but that last pick also hit his receiver in his chest and he missed it and he bobbled it. So that one's not on him. So the difference in the game obviously was the turnovers. And it has been so far in almost every playoff game. Baker turned it over, Tom, lost by 5. You dove to the end zone, got hit in the head, You were 1 inch away from scoring, and the other team has the ball now. So, Browns could have easily won that game. Saints could have easily won their game. And the narrative is, after every game, whoever wins or loses, Breeze sucks, he should retire, Brady's the GOAT. And I'm like, yeah, he had a bad game. But he went 12-4 this year. The defense was pretty good. You beat this team twice already.
Yeah.
It's not like if that could have been one of the other two games, again, there's a lot of things about it. So it's just weird. I was like, I'm trying to give your defense credit for playing a good game and turning the ball over, but I don't think you can go in there with Tom Brady with a $190 next week in Lambeau and expect to win. I don't think it's going to happen. So I was saying this, the defense is the reason they won that game, Terry. Let's see what you thought about that.
And I'm not picking anybody's picks, but I know what the NFL wants. And they almost going to get what they wanted.
Well, they want the state.
Tom Brady.
They want
Tom Brady against Buffalo. That's what they want.
Is that what you think?
What better option would you have for this Tom Brady going back to Tampa? If he's the first guy to lead his team back to play at his home field.
Yeah, 10th Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying. And then play Buffalo, a former squad that you beat consistently year in and year out. What more would the NFL want?
The State Farm Bowl.
Terry,
Mahomes versus Rodgers.
I would love that Super Bowl so much, but I don't think it's happening.
Well, I'm going to tell you, it's hard to get back there. You can ask every team in the NFL, can you get back? Some have, some have not.
Cowboys
you don't go back
to
to Dallas.
Yeah, he's right. They didn't even been to an NFC championship
That's
game
what I'm saying.
in 25 years. We're not even talking Super Bowls. They're in Charlotte Hornets land. Between the Cowboys
Be careful
and Hornets,
with your Chiefs.
They've been the same number of NFC championship rounds in 25 years, and it's 0. Just nothing from there. And with Mahomes and his injuries, you just don't know. So let's talk about this week's matchups.
I went blemishless last week.
You're 8-3, Hunter.
You got to admire the modesty of youth.
He is.
I'm just saying, but
Tom, we have to work during the day. We can't sit beside him,
Terry,
analyzing everything.
I'm 99% sure Hunter does more work before 12 a.m. than Terry does.
I know better than that.
I know he does.
I know
Hunter's
better
in
than
school
that.
from 8 to 12, and Terry
technically, I'm in class.
before 8
I'm in
o'clock.
class from 8 to 1. It's a 5-hour class, and then when that class is over, I'm
You're
driving
done.
45 minutes to come here on Mondays and Wednesdays.
Yeah, he's doing way more than Terry is.
No way. No way.
Way more. He's doing way more than all of us.
Terry, I'm going to let
He's
you know.
doing the same thing I am, sitting in a chair.
Terry, I'm going to let you know I just got done with physics. Are you doing physics?
I've already had my physics.
Okay, I'm just picking. But before you cut me off, I'm glad that you did say that I was 8-3.
You're
But I
8-3.
wasn't gonna just toot my
I'll
own horn to
give you
say that.
credit.
I'm blemished.
started
I
it
went
like that.
I know. I went blemishless last week. I'm hoping I missed both picks this week.
What's
I'm
the overall
hoping.
records, Terry?
I'm hoping.
Tanner was a perfect 1-3. The only one he got right was the Tampa Bay game. He did get that because at one time I thought this dude getting ready to go 0-4.
Was I not 1-3?
His first picks. But anyway, this is how we looked last week.
I know I had a bad one.
Tanner's 1-3. JP, congratulations. He is 6-5. He is tied with Tom at 6-5.
That makes me smile.
He
just does.
I come in next at 5-6, and
I don't
our
care if
boss
I'm
man
losing.
over here comes in at 4-7.
Yeah, that sucks.
I might be tied with JP, but you're worse.
Right, but it doesn't hurt my feelings, and it does yours. That's the difference.
I can't help but you're dead inside. Okay, that's between. That's
Because
between
I
you and
was
your
so
maker.
mad last week
Between you
watching
and your
Breeze. I was like,
You're
get
dead
this
inside.
guy out of here. I mean,
Terry.
bring in a backup. Put Hill back there.
Terry.
Put Winston back there.
So-
Winston can throw interceptions. He's
It was
done it.
bad when they had to bring in Winston on the trick play to throw the deep ball.
Yeah.
That was the longest pass play by New Orleans all season.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
56-yard play.
Well, you can go 12-4 dissecting a defense from 15 to 20 yards.
Eventually, you got to test them deep, and if you bringing in
Hunter.
Jameis Winston to throw the deep ball, I know
If
what's coming.
Breeze,
Hunter, they beat them twice.
I'm gonna
this
tell you
year.
what. Here's
And that's
the
why
deal.
I picked him to win the third
Okay,
time for
so
Tampa
if
Bay.
Breeze hadn't
You
won a
can't.
Super
It's hard to
Bowl-
beat a team in the NFL
Yeah.
twice, let alone 3 times.
Yeah, if Breeze hadn't won a Super Bowl, that's the only thing keeping him better than Marino. Marino, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, never won anything. Breeze, that's the only thing, the difference between him and Marino, because Breeze has been there tons of time with lots of talent and done nothing.
He won a Super Bowl.
Won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he does. That's what I said. That's the only thing the difference.
All right. So on my picks, 2 of my misses are the Browns game. I picked them to
Lose to Pittsburgh
without coaches and to beat Kansas City with coaches. And I think they should have won that one. I know that. The other one last week, y'all scared me off with the voodoo on the 3 Bills picks.
I thought it was the Packers.
Rams, the 3 Packers picks.
Yeah.
Y'all scared me off on that.
That
one.
was an easy pick.
And then Tom jinxed all of us by picking Breeze last week again. And I told him as soon as he said it, I knew it. Like my heart dropped.
Well, I did too because
like,
I had
crap.
picked before him, and then he kept on talking, and I'm like, well, I'm in trouble because every time he
Bad
talks too
juju,
long,
Tom.
it's an L.
Terry,
It's an L.
I actually went 8-0 last week because I got all the spreads right too. By me picking Tampa Bay,
So let's say it, Terry. What's the standings?
by me picking Tampa Bay and the Bills to win,
Switched
by
across the
default
next
they cover that spread.
One it circled.
And then I picked Green Bay to cover their spread, and I said Chiefs will win, but Browns will cover that 10-point spread, and that's what happened. So
I give you
I was
credit,
very happy with
I'll
myself
give you
last
credit.
week.
I might not come in and give Tom credit, but I'll give you credit.
I appreciate that, but I will say this right now:
If those 3 games switch, I'm 7-4.
I'm telling you, I have my picks that I'll make for this weekend, but I hope they're wrong. Like for me to enjoy the Super Bowl, I hope my picks are wrong.
All right.
This is just me more going with my head than what I want to see.
So let's talk about the games, break them down a little bit, then we'll make our picks. JP, are we time for a break? I can't see.
Was it 9:44?
Yeah, it's time.
JP, let's take a break. We're going to come back and break down the games and make our picks here in just a few moments, folks. We're going to take a break on ktcbroadcasting.com.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could go look at a new car or truck and you didn't have to worry about getting caught up in those games that waste half your day? Well, Friendship Nissan and Friendship Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, and Forest City is different because we're fast, easy, and transparent. We have over 300 new and used vehicles on the ground with clear choice pricing and the region's only non-commissioned sales force, and a free lifetime warranty on every new car. You better believe Friendship Nissan and Friendship Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram is different, and you can find us in Forest City.
You've got to see them. Just arrived at the all-new Jumpin' Jads in Boston. It's the Amish-made Hickory Rockers. They are absolutely beautiful to look at and even better to sit in. Jumpin' Jads is right across from the old Stamey store, and they feature primitive furniture, Billy Jacobs prints, candles, country decor, tinware, and more. Open Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 6, Saturdays 9 to 3. Call 704-312-6513. The new Jumpin' Jads, now open in downtown Boston with new merchandise arriving every week.
Take advantage of a special offer on the versatile Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor. Switching attachments is simple, and a smooth hydrostatic transmission makes for easy operation. The Kubota BX Series, the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. for over 10 years. You own the land. Now, make it yours. Get the Kubota BX 2380 for payments as low as $99 a month.
Your Kubota dealer is Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive, off Highway 74 at Oak Grove Road, Kings Mountain.
For all of your printing needs, see Modern Printing of Cherryville. Get your full-color business cards at Modern Printing of Cherryville, along with your full-color brochures. Get multicolor letterhead and multicolor envelopes. Just call 704-435-6112 or email at modern_printing@ymail.com. Modern Printing, located 902 East Main Street, Cherryville. Open Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. till 4:30 p.m. That's Modern Printing of Cherryville.
Paint, and more paint at Hometown Hardware in Kings Mountain. Hometown Hardware in Kings Mountain is now an official Glidden paint dealer. Now, that's 2 names you can trust, Glidden Paint and Hometown Hardware. And they feature custom tinting color matching. Get your home ready for spring with their new spring colors. Come pick yours out today at Hometown Hardware, your Glidden paint dealer. Hometown Hardware, 110 South Railroad Avenue in Kings Mountain. Home is where everything is, especially during this time. Home is where the office is, home is where school is, and home is where comfort is. Today, home is everything, and Carolina Federal Credit Union in Cherryville is there for you, your home, and your family. And you can bank with Carolina Federal Credit Union right there at home. Visit the website at carolinafcu.org. Call 704-435-0186 for more information. You'll feel right at home with Carolina Federal Credit Union, 1200 East Church Street in Cherryville.
And we're back on Saturday morning sports talk. I think they're going to be doing picks.
Yeah. We're gonna break down the games that are happening tomorrow. I wish one of them was at least today, so I'd have something really to watch later besides college basketball.
Yeah, college
but
basketball.
I'm just talking about the NFL playoffs. Both games are tomorrow. The early game tomorrow is Green Bay and Tampa Bay. Imagine that, two bays getting ready to go after each other. But I'm pretty sure only one of them's near the water. Is that right, Tom, or am I geographically wrong about Green Bay?
I want to say Green Bay's near.
Is it near Lake?
I'd have to see.
One of the Great Lakes.
Great Lake. It's near. I'd have to see. You know what?
Because I don't know. Because I'm thinking about that. It's like
geography.
I understand kind of why Tampa is called Tampa, Tampa Bay, but Green Bay, I don't really know. But
Yeah, sometimes you have to think about it. It's like, oh yeah, Chicago is on Lake Michigan.
kind of like I never understand.
Green Bay is. Yeah, it's near. I don't want to say the wrong Great Lake though, Hunter. I have to look at it
Kind of like I've never understood their cheese heads.
because they make a lot of cheese.
I know they like cheese, but like,
They don't like
is
it,
that
they
why
make
they're
it.
called?
They
Or
make
they,
it.
well, I'm just
They
saying,
make
like,
it.
is
It's
that
like
why?
Michigan, that's what
is that why they're
it's like
called the
Michigan.
Packers?
No.
Because they pack cheese.
No. Cardboard.
Lake Michigan, which I was
Right, they make
unaware
cardboard
with,
boxes.
which I was unaware of. Hunter has a little. It's like most of it, but it has like a little finger to the west, and Green Bay's on the. Edge
Okay,
of that
so it
finger.
is.
Yeah.
So we got two bays going against each other tomorrow for
Obviously.
the NFC.
Obviously.
And
After
then
all that,
we
we're trying to
have
figure
the
that
late
out.
night game tomorrow night. The Chiefs host the Bills, and they're going to try and circle the wagons in Kansas City tomorrow.
All right, Bucks at Packers, 305, 30 degrees, Green Bay.
That's going to be cold.
Tampa in Green Bay. Who would ever pick Florida to win in Lambeau? No team has ever played in their own Super Bowl host city.
NFL's waiting.
So it's never happened, so I don't think it's going to happen. I'll start it off before y'all even talk about it. I am picking the Green Bay Packers to win and go to the Super Bowl. I know this is going to be wrong for next week. I just know it.
Why?
Because I've had bad juju on my picks.
You have
You
had-
think Tom's rubbed off on you?
have
I'm going to
had-
go first and see. Then Tom will talk for a minute and a half here. And hopefully,
Every
Then you'll
time
be
won't
done.
pick the Packers.
You'll be done.
Every time Tom talks, it's like, oh, Tom's not allowed to talk. He's on a talk show. But if he talks, we tell him to shut up. So,
Go ahead, Tom.
I mean,
Break it
am I
down.
allowed,
Well, hold
am I
on.
allowed to talk, or am I supposed to
Tom,
sit over there?
during your pick,
I can sit over there. There's three
during
seats
your
over there. I'll
picks,
just
you
go
got
sit
5
over there
seconds.
every Saturday morning.
Go ahead, 5 seconds. Turn
Oh, my God.
I know. I want more than 5 seconds. You sit over there, shut up, and listen.
Okay, time's up.
Okay.
Now, Packers are favored
All right.
by 3.5 at home.
Okay.
You can get a ticket for $2,800. Now, I don't have a feeling either way. I think either one could win this game. The reason I'm picking the Packers is because of no team's ever played in their host city. That's the only reason. That's all I got. Small and breakdown.
That's it?
That's all I got.
This is what I'm picking. Well, it makes sense to pick the Packers. It's cold. In Tampa Bay, it's warm. In Green Bay, it's cold.
Right.
Green Bay is the home team,
Geographically correct, Tom.
right? This game features two great quarterbacks. One the greatest all time. The other's Tom Brady, right, Andre? Okay. So I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh, God.
I'm just kidding. But you have two great quarterbacks. That's what a Packers fan said on Facebook, so I'm quoting that. You're at home. Antonio Brown not playing.
He's not playing.
Antonio
He's not
Brown's
playing.
not playing. So you got to go with the Packers in this game. I like the Packers. I like him to cover the spread. Sorry, Andre, after that tongue lashing I got and you embarrassed me on YouTube television, I am picking against Tom Brady one final time. But I will
Why
tell
did
you,
I start?
I
You're
will tell you,
doomed.
I'm done.
Kevin,
I will
you're
tell you,
doomed.
I will tell you that if Tom Brady finds a way to win this game, that I will pick them in the Super Bowl because I've been wrong like
That's
6
not what he
straight
wants.
weeks.
He wants you to keep on doing it.
That's why.
Keep
So
thinking
Go ahead,
I'm
Terry.
going with the Packers.
Crap. Well, these two are going with the Bucks, I would guess, after hearing that diatribe.
Well,
When I
not a
first come on
Soliloquy,
here, I
soliloquy.
said what the NFL wants, and then
Or-
Tom started.
Or
So
or was it
when
Mono?
Tom started, that made my pick very easy. I'm going to take Tom Brady. He's going to be the first man to get back to his own city.
are you done, Terry?
Yeah. Tom, appreciate you going before me. I love that part of it. So Tampa Bay wins on account of Tom does not know how to be quiet.
I'm on a talk show.
This is how we're picking.
I'm on a talk show. You know, I want to say
He
one thing.
exceeded
I want to
his
say
5
one
seconds.
thing. If I could say something, my uncle from Ohio watched the show, and he said, "You know what he said? Tom, why are you so quiet on that show?" I said, "I can't get a word in. When I do, I get chastised and kicked to the curb, and like I'm like that little kid in class.
Yeah,
who
Terry.
raises his hand to speak." And the teacher says, "Shut up" for raising a hand. That's what I feel like on this show.
So-
Get him, Tom.
That's okay.
All right,
Get him.
Hunter,
That's okay.
if you're keeping score, I picked the Packers
Right.
because no team has ever went to Florida.
Right.
Tom picked.
Wait, no team has ever
Yeah, no,
played in their same
city. I
in
don't
the
know what
same
I'm talking
city
about.
Super
Same
Bowl.
city. Same
Teams
Super
have gone to Florida.
Right, plenty of teams have been to Florida. Tom picked the Packers
Cold weather, warm
because
weather.
of cold weather, warm weather.
He just kept talking.
And
You
he
don't
kept-
even know what he said.
And Terry picked them because Tom picked the Packers.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you folks that are listening at home, y'all are getting some good notes here and a good
Oh,
great
y'all
breakdown of
break this
what to
down
do.
great. This
Now,
is-
Hunter,
there's a reason why somebody went 4-0 last
Hunter,
week, and let me give it to
we've
you.
left it up to you to bring any type of football-related pick.
Okay.
to the actual picks.
Antonio Brown was out?
You did.
Tom, you
And
don't
I-
have
and
to
I
put on your
confirm.
glasses to look a lot more sophisticated than us.
I'm gonna
Go
tell you
ahead,
what, Terry.
Hunter.
All I have to do is speak a word, and I sound more sophisticated than you. Okay, so let that be said. I don't need.
We're
to-
ending this. My pick, I'm going to keep it as simple as I can because we have another one to pick. I'm going to go with Green Bay to win this game a little bit because it is warm weather, cold weather. Tom Brady and Tampa Bay is getting ready to go up to Green Bay. But I saw what Aaron Rodgers and that offense did to the number one defense in the league at the time in the Rams, and they gashed them. They absolutely gashed them. To Kevin's point earlier, Drew Brees, I know, threw picks, but he still was finding holes in the defense with, of course, his dissecting, but they were short passes. The difference is Aaron Rodgers can dissect you down deep, too.
He
He's
can.
one of
He's
the
got
best
one
deep
Super
ball
Bowl.
throwers.
Good job, buddy.
Regardless,
Good job.
Terry, the Packers will come out on top.
He talked longer than me.
The Packers will come out on top. But this is the one.
Tom
still
got
talking.
sick.
I'm still talking.
Okay, yeah, you're right, Tom.
Roger got
When you go
one.
4-0 in a week, you can talk about it. All right. Let's talk about and who's got
This
the
is
best
first
record on
game.
playoff picks.
This is the first game.
Just want to say that.
Best record on playoff picks too. I'm just saying, I'm closing it
Linger in the
with,
clubhouse.
but I want this pick to be wrong.
Hunter.
I want it to be Tampa Bay,
Hunter,
but I
I'm
think
gonna
Green
gain
Bay
one
wins.
on you. I'm getting ready to gain one on you, Hunter.
Sure, you'll gain one, but you'll never catch me.
I will by the Super Bowl.
Are you guys done? Can we go to the next one?
No, JP's got a pick.
JP, what you picking?
Buccaneers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Green Bay Packers.
Buccaneers.
I'm so well.
God, it feels good to be right.
Oh my goodness,
Well, I'll tell you
JP's
what.
gonna move ahead of
You got a
time.
lot of stuff. You got a lot of stuff to break down next week, Kevin. Putting these guys on bad picks.
Oh goodness.
Putting who? Not me.
Bills. All
Putting
right.
Terry and JP.
At 6:40 p.m. Eastern tomorrow on CBS.
That's a weird time.
42 degrees and raining.
Ugh, that's
Bills
nasty.
at Chiefs. Chiefs favored by 3. Chiefs 14-2, Bills 13-3.
Mahomes has cleared concussion protocol.
Yeah,
he
he
is
did.
going to
Was there any
play.
doubt he wasn't?
Oh, there's
No.
no doubt.
He could be
doubt.
telling everybody he's Randall Cunningham right now, and he's playing Sunday.
No doubt. But he does still
If it's the
have.
Baltimore Ravens, they'd postpone the game to next week.
Did you? Colin Coward and a couple of people were on TV on Monday and Tuesday
Yeah, I
saying
heard
let's
this.
postpone the game so he's healthy. Like
You
if they
knew
would have
that.
did that, that would have been the most ridiculous thing ever. That they would postpone over one.
We're
guy.
talking about a league that
They were like,
preaches.
it's so important.
We're talking about a league that preaches next man up
Yeah.
mentality, and you were getting ready to
Right.
postpone a game
I thought
just to have the
concussion
quarterback.
protocol was
What
7
would
days
the
anyway.
Broncos say about that? They had to play with 0 quarterback.
Yeah, I
You
know.
got to say something stupid every now and then to get a little media
Especially
attention.
Terry, if you get
Right.
scraped off the field and you're wobbly.
Headliners.
Yeah.
He got hit. He heard, and we broke it down Monday and Wednesday that, and Terry, I don't know, you'll remember it very vividly, probably in your memory. I compared it to the Michael Irvin injury. The other player didn't hit Irvin in the head. The other player didn't hit Pat Mahomes in the head. Their face mask and the top
Yeah.
of their heads hit the
Yeah.
ground.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If you remember, and I showed it Wednesday, but Irvin's head bounced off the the turf there, and it was his top of his head. And the same thing with Mahomes. He didn't get hit by the defender. His head hit the ground.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson, when he had his head hit
back
the
of
ground.
his head hit the ground.
Yeah.
Like you
Same
can,
thing.
you know, you can put all the padding in the world you want on your helmets, but if the ground's hard as crap,
Yeah.
you're still getting hit by the ground.
Yeah, when it's 30 degrees outside, it's going to hurt.
It's the ground. So, it's tough with these guys. I don't know. I don't know where to go with them on that. You know, how do you? I don't know. I don't think he would pass. You get up like that, you definitely have a concussion. So whatever the rule is on that, I don't know. All right. So back to it. Chiefs are hosting. He's going to play.
Yep.
Bills in town. Spreads 3, 41 degrees. $430 for this one. Is a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Hunter. No. Let's start. I tell you what. We're going to let Tom go last.
Let JP go first.
JP. All right. How about that? Buffalo Bills at Kansas City Chiefs.
Chiefs.
You confident in that?
No, but
Is he even got
at least he's on.
Is his microphone on?
Yeah.
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 He didn't bother sitting up. All right, Terry, we'll start with you.
I'm not confident. But hey,
I don't want you to
y'all
sit
are
here.
making me picks.
and we'll let Tom go last. Bills
Thank
at Chiefs. Who
Well,
you got, Terry?
I don't see. I don't like Chiefs anyway. I did pick them to win Super Bowl last year.
Kansas City
though.
Royals fan.
But that's what I'm saying. But anyway, Mahomes, I don't think he's fully developed to be back in this game. That's just my own opinion. I think he'll get hit again, and he'll come out again. And I think the Bills will win this and move on like the NFL wants for Tom Brady to be against Buffalo in the Super Bowl.
All right. Hunter Yancey.
I hope I'm wrong because I'm a Josh Allen fan, but I had the Chiefs winning this game. I've said the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl all year. It would be kind of weird for me to just hop off the bandwagon now. So I know I love watching Josh Allen, and I think the Bills are playing extremely great, but that defense is suspect for the Bills. And at least Kansas City can run the ball. Buffalo cannot run the ball at all. I think the last 5 or 6 games I read, they were averaging only 62 rush yards a game. So if you become a one-trick pony at this time, I think Spagnuolo will have something really drawn up for the Chiefs. I got the Chiefs winning this and going to the Super Bowl. But I hope I'm wrong. That's what I meant by I'm picking two different than what my heart says. I would love to see Tampa Bay versus the Bills because I don't like Aaron Rodgers at all, and I like Josh Allen. But I'm going to take it being the Chiefs and the Packers in the Super Bowl.
So Hunter picks the State Farm Bowl.
Yes.
After that game, I'll be one game behind Hunter.
All right. So we got
Still won't
Mahomes,
catch me.
Hilaire, and Watkins all returned to practice. So that's looking up for the Chiefs, right? They're getting healthier.
Mm-hmm.
They're at home.
Put on your glasses again.
You guys say they want Josh Allen. I think the NFL wants Patrick Mahomes in this game.
No.
I mean, I think
they went to State Farm Bowl because that's how much money they got. Millions of dollars invested in that.
My insurance is Farm Bureau, not State Farm.
That's who mine is.
I'm going against the company that doesn't spend all of its insurance claims on advertising. So I'm going with the Bills. I think they're going to get it done. I like Josh Allen. I think Singletary, they've got enough of a run game, Hunter. I disagree with you a little bit. I think they got enough. I think they've got enough of a run game. Cole Beasley, Cole Beasley's a rap artist. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I hope you're right.
I think
The
they've got
Chiefs
enough.
and Bills are 16 and 20th in rushing offense. So neither one of them can run.
And the
ball.
Bills got a pretty good defense too. I mean, they
have had
points.
since week 12 the number 1 red zone
Yeah,
defense.
got a good defense. So, and I like the Bills. I think McDermott's done a great job with that team. I think he could have been coach of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done a
And
great
don't
job.
forget Diggs, man. Diggs is pretty good.
Diggs is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Chiefs won
And-
Super Bowl. I mean, Chiefs won the game earlier this year with Buffalo by I think it was
And
9.
really, the Buffalo, the only loss was that fluke in Arizona, or
They
they
could
would
have
have
been
won
on a
like 10-game win streak. So let's go with the good old Rust Belt team.
I
Of
hope
course,
you're right.
Can you be quiet?
Buffalo.
No. Let him talk.
You're
and give-
picking the
me
same
finish.
team I picked.
Let me finish. I'm gonna sit over there and just watch y'all.
I hope both of you are right in the Bills pick.
So who'd
I
you
hope
pick?
you're
Let me
right.
tell you what he does. What he does is he picks one team and says, I hope they lose because I picked them. So no matter what, he can come in here next week and say, Well, that's what I really wanted to happen anyway.
Tom, listen. Listen.
I'm Hunter, the greatest
What
person
did I
ever.
say? I looked at the camera and I said, I'm picking the Chiefs to win,
locker room, Terry?
but I want the Bills to win. So my pick is the Chiefs. That doesn't mean it's the difference between picking with your heart and your head, Tom. My head is telling me the Kansas City Chiefs statistics.
You've been on the Buffalo bandwagon all year. And you pick against them in the biggest game.
Yes,
but you may say whatever you want about Tom Brady. I am consistently picking against Tom Brady, and I will pick against him.
And guess what?
This week.
And you've been consistently wrong, Tom.
But
so
that's
hey,
okay. Hey,
if you want to be
sticking to my
wrong,
story.
if you want to be wrong consistently,
Saints should have beat him.
Saints
should have
so
beat
Hunter
him.
lost.
The Redskins should have beat him with
One of
Tyler
Hunter's,
Heineke.
one of your jerseys lost last week to the Chiefs. The other one you're picking to lose this week.
Yeah, I'm thinking of finding a new home for that Mayfield.
After
one.
Tom picks the
I don't
Bills,
wear it.
I'm going with the State
What do
Farm
you
Bowl.
want for
I'm going to go State Farm Bowl there, Terry. So
You
I'm going
think
to
you fit in it?
I'm going to go Chiefs.
What size is it?
If
I
Mahomes
think
plays
it's
the whole game, I think
it's from China, but it says it's a medium, but it swallows me.
extra medium.
What? Medium?
Extra medium.
No. This might be this.
I don't know what it is. Just extra medium. That's
This thing might be I don't know what their dimensions are, but it is too big.
Tell the fast food people that
Looks like a dress.
extra medium when they ask you what size something.
If I may slide something in, just want to know that Mitchum's Kitchen brought our breakfast today, which we have not mentioned yet. I had a bacon, egg, and cheese on toast.
Had sausage,
And they're
egg,
whispering
and
over.
cheese
Look, they're
biscuit.
whispering over there, which is
Yeah.
unfair.
Yeah.
I think Kevin had a sunrise wrap.
And so did Hunter.
Yes. Yes.
And
What
JP
what
had
was that? You guys
sausage,
can't
egg,
go
No,
and
no, no,
cheese.
no, no,
I
no,
take a
no.
break.
We can't.
Can't go over there.
No, you can't go there now.
Teenage locker room.
Radio.
Two over there
Yeah.
whispering, but they called us teenagers.
FCC rules.
Yeah, whatever.
Listen.
Okay. So thank you, Mitchum's Kitchen, for feeding us every Saturday morning.
They're
So
gonna have you on funny
go over
radio
there.
bits.
I know you've got that on. Yeah. Whatever. I'm ignoring those guys. What's the phone number?
704-276-1155.
Out of context radio.
1155, okay. And Friendship Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, 190 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, also sponsoring Saturday Morning Sports Talk. You can call them at 828-919-3001. Friendship Nissan, 156 Oak Street Extension, Forest City, North Carolina, 828-245-1661.
We give the Jeep and the Dodge place a lot of love because I do like the look of Jeep and Dodge. But the Nissans, the Altima, I think, is one of the better looking sedans on the out there.
The
The
Nissan
Rogue.
Titan.
Oh, the
I
trucks.
love the trucks.
I love the
Nissan
Nissan Titans
trucks
have
are
taken a little
nice.
bit of a F-150, F-250 look with them now. I think they look really good.
I almost got talked into buying or at least a new one
I
time.
wonder if we got free tires.
All right, no, Terry.
We'll
All right, JP,
find out for you.
Are we behind on a break?
Yes.
All right, let's take a quick break. Come back, finish up the show on ktcbroadcasting.com.
When is being different a good thing? Well, at Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram in Forest City, our customers say we're different. Look at our Google reviews. They say we're different too. We have the region's only non-commissioned sales force. We use no haggle, clear choice pricing, and we have the only lifetime warranty with no time or mileage limits. When our customers leave, they say, "That was a great experience." And that's where we're most different. That's Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram, and we're located in Forest City.
I'm Lon Helton, inviting you to join me as we count down the week's top 30 with Dan and Shay.
We possibly had like several glasses of tequila to inspire this. It was like, you know what? Let's just go for it. I mean, you might blow out your voice, but just go for it. And then he got it.
We might never be able to sing again, but just go ahead and try it.
That's Dan and Shay this week on Country Countdown USA.
Wednesday afternoons at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, and online at ktcbroadcasting.com. It's a destination place. It's the new Sammy's Restaurant and Pub of Dallas. It's time to go. 6-ounce filet mignon, $21.99. 8-ounce filet mignon, $26.99. And big 14-ounce ribeyes are $21.99. Plus chicken wings all day, every day. And every Tuesday is Taco Tuesday with classic margaritas for $5. Corona or Corona Light, $3. Patron Silver is $7. And enjoy Sammy's Brunch each and every Sunday. Sammy's Restaurant and Pub of Dallas, 130 West Trade Street in Dallas. Call 704-215-7461. Like them on Facebook, too.
McKinley's Home Furnishings in Eastridge Mall specializes in home furnishings, and they cater to all the seasons inside your home as well as the outside. They have the best prices around. They have flags, doormats, metal signs, and every kind of home decor you can think of. Hours of business, Monday through Thursday, 10 to 8 p.m., Friday through Saturday, 9 to 9 p.m., and Sundays, 12 to 6 p.m. McKinley's Home Furnishings, 246 North New Hope Road in Gastonia. Like them on Facebook.
During this period of COVID-19, Bruner's Automotive in downtown Cherryville wants you to know that they are there for you. Come by and get a free fluid and air pressure check. They'll check your oil, coolant, and fluids and make sure your tires have the correct pressure. And it's at no charge. And they can give you personal protection. Just pull up, beep your horn, and they'll come out. See them today. That's Bruner's Automotive, 319 East Main Street in Cherryville. Give them a call at 704-923-7612. Get your candy, man, at LDP Farms in Bellwood. You'll find all of your old-fashioned favorites, including pecan logs, Yoo-hoo, Mary Jane's, peppermint balls, Tootsie Rolls, Honey, and more. Plus, you'll find a big selection of Amish goods, along with livestock feed and new all-natural feed. And try the new line of Seafood by Willie. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call 704-898-7312 for LDP Farms, Highway 18 North in Bellwood.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk.
What's up, buddy? What's up, JP? Good morning. How was your breakfast?
It was good.
What'd you have this morning?
Sausage, egg, and cheese on biscuit.
Terry, what'd you have?
Sausage, egg, and cheese on a biscuit.
Tommy?
Bacon, egg, and cheese on toast, as I do every Saturday morning. Thank you, Mitch.
Hunter and I had sunrise.
Consistency. That's what we like to
wrap.
see, Tom.
I do.
Just like in your bad picks.
Just like in my bad picks, which I'm going to be right this week. And, of course, you're right either way, so I've already established that.
We love that, don't we?
All right, so...
Tom, we only got 4 minutes.
Yeah, so real quick, I got 2 things we got to get to. One, this is going to be like 60 seconds, guys. I do not want to expand on this because I really want to talk about the last thing. Really quick, Terry said something about Steph just being just a shooter. I have him on my Mount Rushmore of point guards with Magic, Steph, Isaiah, and Oscar Robertson. And then my Mount past less is Steve Nash, John Stockton, Jason Kidd, and Chris Paul. And I will take nominations to replace Kidd and Paul if someone has one over that. Stockton and Nash are on my backside of the mountain. It's what we call Mount past less here on KTC broadcast. Terry, you got any suggestions or changes to that?
No, I've got my own.
I don't know who you're putting over Magic, Steph, Isaiah, or Oscar, but it can't be anybody. Kyrie Irving?
I didn't say Kyrie. For sure not. He is a quick outer at Boston.
All right. So the last thing I want to talk about this week, did you guys see that the Gastonia new baseball team, Atlantic League baseball team, has come out with their new name?
I did. I saw it. I can't remember the name, but I did say they were coming out with a name. And they got a new stadium too, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So the Grizzlies were trying to get a new stadium built for them and trying to work with the city. Deals wouldn't work. And so basically they ended up going to another league. Atlantic League is going to come in, and they've built them a stadium. And it looks nice. I mean, it looks pretty good. But it's in a questionable spot.
Yes.
Just to say the least, Tom. It's a short or a long home run away from a local adult establishment. So
That's something to do after the game.
Well, it's a good way to distract the other team before the game is what you do.
Right.
Say, hey guys, you want some lunch over here across the street? Not tell you where you're going, just take them.
Makes
I didn't think they had those in Gaston County.
Makes an interesting theme night for the ballpark.
I thought
you
you
can't
had to go
bring
to
your kids
Mecklenburg for
though.
that.
Can't bring your kids though.
No, that was back in your day. So
They call it adult. They call it adult night at the park.
Lots changed since the 90s.
Yeah, it has.
I can go to Mooresville for that.
Yeah. So anyway, there's been a lot of jokes online because a lot of people from around the area know about the area and the place of part of it. So there's been a lot of fun jokes and things on the internet about what to name the team and all that. So we've been just kind of playing around with some of that. But I want to give you the team names that were actually given. Here was the choices. I'll let you guys choose. The Gastonia Fire Ants, the Gastonia Hogzillas, the Gastonia Hot Shots, or the Gastonia Uppercuts, and the Gastonia Honey Hunters.
Those all reek of minor league baseball, don't they? All those names.
Terrible names. They have terrible names.
What is your favorite though? If you had to choose, Tom.
Why would you name a team the Fire Ants something everybody hates? Everybody hates Fire Ants.
Believe it or not, when I was told Wednesday, that was what I guessed. I was like, it's the only one that kind of makes sense for a name. The Fire Ants. We know what that is.
And we hate them. Everybody hates Fire Ants.
Yeah, but
Why would you name a team something everybody hates?
well, you can be feisty like a fire ant. I don't know.
I don't care. Everybody hates Fire Ants. I like the uppercuts.
Terry, which one did you like?
I'd have picked the last one.
The Honey Hunters?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, reasons.
Were you a honey hunter back in high school?
Does it have anything to do with the local area?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you're hunting for honey at a strip club, you're in trouble.
Well, Tom, some people have different standards than you, sir.
I reckon so.
So what they went with, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Honey Hunters.
They did.
Tom, can you guess what the honey hunter is supposed to be?
A bee.
Probably a bee.
No.
A bear.
Nope.
That's what I thought.
Those are always the first two guesses, and they're never right. Here it is.
A badger.
A honey badger.
A honey badger.
Honey badger.
Now, why they couldn't just call it the honey badger, I don't know.
But they're the Honey Hunters because the name I'll tell you why after the show. The honey badgers is known as honey hunters according to some of these people. The gold they're coming off of is honey coming off all over. I like the mascot. I think it looks cool. Here's a head of it. That joke.
Now I like that more than the full body one.
Are they native to North Carolina?
No. This is minor league baseball, Tom. They don't care. I guess.
Okay.
I don't know.
He's on fire like he's not
Why
gonna
don't they
honey.
That joke right there is on the scoreboard, huge, and it
The
looks
Gastonia
nice.
former textile workers. That's what you can call them there.
Well, that's not what they
From
want.
a location of where they're at.
So the number one though, Tom, if you're ready for this one. Now, Terry, you voted for that for your reasons. This was the number one thing going around the internet for that everyone wanted in Gastonia area for it to be.
Polecats. Yeah, that's nice.
The Gastonia
That's nice.
Polecats. This was the one
It
that
makes
made
sense.
its ways around all over the
And the
all over
ATM does
interweb.
have $1 bills. in it.
The Gastonia Polecats. You can imagine the logo and the name, but pink and purple there, Tom. I mean, pink and
nice.
red there. So that was what they wanted.
Hey, that would have been the
That's what
hottest
locals
team in
really
town.
wanted.
Hottest team in town.
Hottest team in town. Yeah, I'd send them over there for lunch. Wouldn't you, Terry? Hey guys, just come on over. We got lunch and batting practice at 12. Come, nobody. Think about all the curveballs they'll miss that night.
They
Terry.
get some of the ladies from the local
Need some water girls.
area come in and work on the theme for the park of the night. It is adult night. They're like peanuts.
All right, Tom. Finally, our sponsor for today's show.
Oh, Friendship Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, 190 Oak Street Extension in Forest City. Call them at 828-919-3001. And Friendship Nissan, 156 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, North Carolina, 828-245-1661.
We are looking for a sponsor on our Red Zone show coming up this fall. Right now, not worrying about it in basketball right now, but coming in the next few weeks, would love a maybe Friendship, maybe Mitchell's, maybe somebody wants to sponsor the Red Zone radio show we'll be doing and Facebook Live show on KTC. I want to thank you guys for coming in today. Next Friday night, we'll have basketball on KTC. Monday and Wednesday, Hunter and I will have live podcast. Tune in for that at 2 o'clock. Next Friday night, we will have, that's a football schedule, so I don't have that. You know where you're at next Friday, Hunter?
I'm back at West Lincoln for the North Lincoln-West Lincoln matchup at West.
We got Kramer at Kings Mountain and Cherryville. I do not know the answer to that one. All right, guys, we'll see you next week. Saturday Morning Sports Talk, KTCBroadcasting.com.
One of the reasons you do what you do when you want to be me instead of you. Cause I am still on beat, showing love to the streets.